Welcome to the podcast for TalkSport's The Warm-Up. I'm Johnny Vaughan, joined as ever by
Gavin Woods
and
James Brown.
Nice one, James.
While James watches the game.
While James is watching at the moment, we're just doing the show.
Cursing the ref.
He's watching. James has been on very, very unfocused form today.
They're a goal down.
Once Leeds come on the telly, and unfortunately they've had loads of 12:45 kickoffs at Leeds. Kick 12 o'clock.
Season. That's why they won't let this new bloke buy the club, because it's decided by the other owners. We take 4,000 or 5,000 people to every game. Therefore, they make more money on sales and drinks and so on. So they're going to vote against Leeds getting out of the division.
Forget about 13-5.
Would they spend a lot of money on, like, minerals?
You'll find out what minerals are later in the show.
In the show, you'll find out.
You will realise then, when people tweet in, that everyone knows what minerals is.
Everyone in the north, yeah.
No, but James
the
said
north is the home of football.
two things.
I didn't say it wasn't.
He said, didn't your mother call them minerals?
I never said that.
Minerals. No, but Gabby Yoreth did, James. What a good guest Gabby Yoreth would be for us.
It's the warm-up on TalkSport. Enjoy it.
The result is all wrong. Manchester United were absolutely knackered.
Good morning. Welcome to the warm-up. In association with Capital One, I'm Johnny Vaughan on the day when, well, it's just the best sports weekend. If it's a bit sunny, uncrisp, footy, Grand National, sometimes you get more things on than that. Sometimes it's a real packed weekend, this one.
Boat race.
You get boat race.
Yeah.
Golf. Anyway.
Tennis is on.
Tennis.
Andy Murray's playing.
Rugby.
Netball.
It's all happening. We'll talk about the netball in a second. Sorry, you two haven't been introduced yet. You don't even exist in Radio Land. Chelsea could go back to the top of the Premier League if they beat Stoke later today. That game live on TalkSport at 5:30, as is the Grand National, incidentally, at 4:15. And Wayne Rooney, huge doubt for Man United's crucial Champions League tie against Bayern Munich with an injured toe. I love it. Earlier on in the season, they were talking about David Moyes saying, obviously Wayne's groin is doubtful.
We've had a look at it.
We're going to have to take a long, hard look at Wayne's groin. You just imagine a load of them just standing around at Man United, just prodding it with biros. Does that hurt, Wayne? Sir Alex is going to come down and have a look at his groin. Sir Alex, look at that. He goes, looks bad. Just open them up there. Could you, Wayne, just open up your legs there? And Wayne just lying there in stirrups.
I read a great story about Sir Alex. When Wayne Rooney busted his metatarsal last time, he had that boot on.
Yeah.
And he'd recovered.
Soft
But
boots.
but Fergie told Wayne to keep the boot on when he left training, so that the Champions League game they were about to play, so that they wouldn't know that he was available. Just keep the boot on.
Keep
for a
the
few,
boot.
Yeah,
I bet he's going to be fit this week as well. Okay, do you know what? I'm going to introduce you to my co-presenters this morning. They are James Brown and Gavin Woods. Sorry, it's the first
Good
time.
morning.
Morning,
I've done
James.
it.
Morning, Johnny.
Morning, lads.
Johnny, did you see this week, speaking of Fergie, that he's been made a professor at Harvard University?
Yeah.
Imagine if Fergie was your teacher.
Okay. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? So the laddie fancies himself a poet.
No, do it again.
Yeah. Wrong. Do it again. Now, obviously, there have been some of the greatest men in history have spoken there.
Yeah.
Gavin Woods' dad spoken there. Obviously, the only man who's non-military or not part of government ever to address the UN Security Council, which is your dad did that, didn't he?
He did.
And he addressed them at Harvard
The
as
only
well.
private citizen, or the
And
first.
he addressed them as
Wait,
Harvard.
is it only... Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
What did he say? What's your vibe today?
what's your vibe today,
Ja,
Harvard?
lekker, hey, bro.
The vibe today is learning here. The vibe today is bra-best. My headphones come out. No, the volume's back up there. The vibe today is bra-best. Go to Clifton Fourth here. Okay, I'm just going to get on with this because...
They've had Winston Churchill.
Yeah, they've had Churchill, they've had John Stuart Mills, Sir Alexander Fleming. But I think you've got to go back to 1937 when Albert Speer spoke there to really find a figure.
A controversial appointment.
As controversial as Sir Alex said. Well, obviously he's a lot more controversial. But in 37 he wasn't.
No.
Okay, there we go. James, don't look all fearful just because you got sacked for saying you like Rommel's uniforms. It's all right. We're in an environment where we can make jokes like that. We can do that. You know, he's done his time, and he's dead. All right, let's just steer through that one. Anyway, Wayne Rooney is out with that toe injury this week, which is. I just love the thought of them now having all stood round and prodded his groin.
Now they're on his toe.
Alex is saying, just wiggle it a bit there, Wayne. Wiggle that toe. And Moy's going, wiggle it again.
One more time, please, Wayne.
Okay, just wiggle that again, Wayne. Side to side. No, don't side to side, David. Just Sir Alex and David standing there going, okay, just try and flex it, wiggle it. Okay, does that hurt? And then Sir Alex goes, does that hurt?
Stepping on it.
Right, no, it won't bend that way. Right, take the bone out and just fill it with steel. And that'll be it.
Chromium molybdenum.
Yes, I'm surprised he hasn't got that. Anyway, what are you warming up for today, Gav?
Well, I'm warming up for tomorrow's game. My own team playing Everton away. It's a Champions League position decider, apparently.
Yes.
It's not really, but it could be.
Well, do you know what? James, what are you warming up for today?
Well, we are looking on Twitter today for your local team's hard man, the man that you look for to enforce the game in your own team.
This is after bullying at Stoke, and we decided we couldn't ask you who is your team's bully, which I wanted to go with.
Yeah, it's a bit negative.
No, because every team has the. I mean it in a nice way.
Yeah.
Bullying has become this word that's all bad, but there is by a team bully. And everyone panics with that word. What I mean, and I don't find bullying fun, it's unpleasant. But
Do you mean someone who controls his own team or someone who bullies the
I'll tell you
opposition?
exactly what I mean. I mean, like our friend Tom. Like our friend Jim, right? He's the sort of guy who's your mate, but he'll come up to you on the pitch and just go, come on, man, you're not trying! You know, that guy who gets in his own
Roy
team.
Keane?
Yeah, the guy who gets it. Yeah, okay, I didn't want to say it, but you're absolutely right. Hey, Roy Keane. Who have you got there who is the Roy Keane in your side as well? We don't want the team bullies quite, but that team hard man, the guy who makes you play.
The marshal.
Yes, and he's also a bully.
He's a bit intimidating.
Yeah, he's very intimidating.
So tell us them. Tell us.
We were going to give a special prize, but we found out we're not allowed to give special prizes. I'm a bit nervous about Chelsea today.
At home to Stoke.
At home to Stoke. And I had this to say earlier before the show. You lose away at Palace when the doors open, you know, and then you go down 3-1 in the first leg in Europe. So today's going to be a real test of confidence. It's a test of whether you are a champion or not, you know. That's what I said earlier. That was my comments earlier. Well, I only do it because I can't interrupt myself.
That's what I found fascinating this week. Jose said, if you don't believe we can win anything this year, then stay at home.
Yeah.
But all season long, when Chelsea were winning, he said, we can't win.
I know.
We can't win. Now they've lost a game.
He's just like a spoiled brat. He wants to win every game. I tell you why I went off him when he poked that guy in the eye. When there was that big brawl.
Never endears you to a man.
No, but when he was a big brawl between Real Madrid and
I know
Barcelona, and he sneaked in around the back of all the big strong men, butting into each other. What sort of manager goes and pokes the opposition's bench in the eye?
I want to find someone who's weak.
It's fantastic. You have a manager on the other team?
I am quite worried about today. And it's getting to that stage of the season. I've been quite cocky in not talking about football because I really felt we were going to be away with it. I'm still being modest. Now I might switch back a bit because I'm not so confident.
And play it down.
What's been happening at... Actually, we've got that coming up because we've got an amazing Leeds United phone call which happened this week, which is good for us because we needed a bit of actual Leeds content rather than me just going, Leeds United. Leeds United. Johnny, you want to see James's disappointment. James sent off for a vintage Leeds shirt.
No, I didn't. A Scotland shirt.
No, wait, James, because you've been sent the other one as well. And James has sent off for shirt. Shirts have arrived. He's received a Scottish...
And it were wrong one.
He's received a Scottish one, what he doesn't want. And he's received a Leeds one that's just
It's not a Leeds one, it's just like a cricket
shirt. It's a horrible plain white shirt.
It's just
like a cricket shirt.
You could drape it over your shoulders, though, James.
Gav and I like Nars. We're really excited. I've got a brilliant old school solar one.
Yeah, I got a Rocky Road Castle. It's brilliant.
He's got the JVC one.
I've got brilliant.
Jeff Boycott's training shirt.
I've got the Coors Chelsea one with Zola on.
Campo, they're excellent shirts.
Really pleased about. And then I got sent sent a really nice old school plain blue one. Gav got a red one with the white sleeves. James has pulled his out. He's just got a white...
Just a plain white cricket shirt.
So old as well.
Great thing.
Not
people.
even.
Oh,
It's just, you know what? I just rather they hadn't. I just wish they hadn't offered us them.
It's like Crown Green
What
Bowls
did
shirt or
What did you
something.
say? What did you say? Could you clip what he just said then, please? Could you get a clip of that? It just wasn't what your offers of them. What did you say at the end then? It wasn't what I wanted offers of them.
Play Ralph Ineson.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Johnny Vaughan. That's Gavin Woods. That's James Brown. We're back in a 7. We've got phone calls and lots more frivolity. Or, as Georgie Bingham this morning called up the show, shenanigans. She said Johnny Vaughan will be back on with his gang and all their shenanigans.
Is that the name of
zany madhouse?
Is that the name of our band?
Cheers, Georgie. That's the hard sell. Back in a second.
Get involved by calling the warm-up with Johnny Vaughan on 08717 223344 or email us via talksport.com. You can tweet us at TS Warm-up or text us at 81089. 50p plus normal sending charges apply.
Sony nominated. Sony nominated. Sony nominated. Sony nominated.
Okay, I made that jingle myself before the show. What do you think of that, lads? What do
It's
you think?
very nice harmonies, Johnny.
Yeah, what's it about?
It's about the nomination we've had for it. We've been nominated for an award this week.
Really?
Yeah,
Speech Radio Personality of the
Radio
Year.
Personality of the Year. Let's hear that. Hang on a second. We want to hear the jingle again. The producer
Sony
said...
nominated.
Oh, okay. Hang on, wait a second. It turns out they're not called the Sonys anymore. Scrap the jingle. Okay, fair enough. Damn, what did they tell me? What are they
Radio
called?
Academy
Oh,
Awards.
it's the Radio Academy Awards. Okay,
Yeah.
damn.
I
Why
feel
didn't they tell me that before I
I feel
went
like
in there?
that's cheating a bit. We've been nominated with people who do proper radio shows.
I know.
I know. It is, isn't it?
I just imagine this show the equivalent of being trapped in a traffic jam with your mates on the way to a game you know you're going to lose.
They are the radio. But can I just say they are the radio awards? Yeah, exactly right.
That's how I see it.
I know. There's not, you're going to get eventually. You'll get a moment in life, and well, I know I'll get another
It's
one.
not so much waiting for Godot as waiting for Grobbelaar.
Yeah. Nice, good gag, James. I once put a dinner jacket on, went into the inside pocket, and I found an acceptance speech for an award I'd never got. And it was in
Did
there.
you use it again that night?
No, I didn't. I didn't use it again. And it was
You
just
failed. You didn't get it again.
no, I didn't. No, that was just when I was hosting an awards, and but I read this speech. And it was just so sad reading all these people I was thanking.
Oh, no.
It was mainly a list of names.
Really
Actually, it wasn't a speech. It was a list of names to make sure I didn't forget anyone. 11:23. This is your warm up on Talksport. We have been nominated. Thank you very much to the Radio Academy for recognising us there. I appreciate it.
I've got an amazing piece of sportization I've just seen on
Go on then.
Twitter.
What have you seen?
It's a car in the Bradford City colours. Check it out.
Oh, that's sporterisation. What they've done
This
is
came in from Bradford Gas City Gas at BC Gas. It was a brilliant car. Thanks for that.
Okay, lovely. Keep the sporterisation coming in, and do watch American Guns just to enjoy that family there. He picked up a gun this week, which an episode they showed again where he picks up a gun. It's a Colt 45, a service revolver,
An original one.
and originally he picks it up, and this guy wants to sporterise it. He just goes,
A handgun.
yeah, handgun. No, he doesn't want to sporterise it. He just wants to put a logo on it, like sort of death to all, or one of those mottos of like a local
Second Amendment.
Yeah.
SWAT unit. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Okay, it says like kill them all, let God sort them out.
The right to have bare arms.
Yeah,
Eat
the right,
lead.
the right to kill bears. Yeah.
What would you have on your gun if you could put a logo on it?
Just text us now, please. What would you have on your gun?
I'd have come on you gunners.
Yeah, of course you would. Well, you have an Arsenal gun. Yeah. Should they have guns in club shops? A brand new section.
Rifles. Cannons.
Well, I've already said you should be able to definitely buy work clothes, liver it up in your club colours. But to have a gun and actually, let's not talk about knives.
Yeah.
Guns seem less brutal in Britain.
Hey, speaking of bullies and hard men,
Yeah.
we had the first response. Wayne Thomas, who's on Twitter, he says, if I'm nominated for any of my former clubs, I just want to make it clear that they're all lying and I will hunt the individuals down.
This is our text for club bullies, which is really on a roll.
And
Fantastic.
Sam, who's at SK the Janner, Plymouth's hard man was Guy Branston, but he got released, so probably Paul Watton or even the manager, Shez, who we had on here, John Sheridan.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
Yeah, the man who plays football for his brother's amateur team.
Oh, he does,
The
yes.
night before playing for a professional team.
Yeah, and scores a hat-trick and acts like he's a civilian.
And the coach said, "Oh, we've got to talk to that guy. He's a bit good for this level, isn't he?"
The ref recommended he got to a better level.
Yeah, when the ref's saying you're too good.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Chelsea are playing today. A lot of people texting to say, what do I think about this? This is what I had to say. This is before we have a guest here. This is what I had to say before the show. You lose away at Palace when the doors open, and then you go down 3-1 in the first leg in Europe. So today's going to be a real test of confidence. It's a test of whether you are a champion or not, That was me just before the show.
Yeah, good to hear that.
That was you earlier.
That was me earlier, yeah.
Was that you doing a sort of football manager impression?
No, it wasn't. It was just me just talking as I talk in real life. Remember, I put on a persona on radio. I'm nothing like this in real life.
And you wear makeup on radio as well.
I'm the only person who wears makeup on radio. and a toupee. A really moody toupee.
It's more like a 3-pay.
But I can never work out why radio DJs, lots of them, did have wigs. You sort of think you'd like Fluff Freeman and the lads, all wearing those syrups. You think to yourself, you're on radio. You don't need a syrup.
They probably did a lot of photo promo and stuff, didn't they? I don't know.
Well, for photo promo.
Photos.
Did you say they probably did
Photos.
a lot of, yeah, but John, they probably did a lot of photo promos. There's netball on. There's netball on at the moment, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Now, I've been watching a bit of netball, and it's surprising.
Vicious game.
Well, no, but what occurs to me as you watch netball is I'm surprised more women, by the same principle, more women don't watch football. I know a lot do, but it seems to me not only are they getting a great game out of it, but very good leching. You're seeing fit, desirable men. I mean, the dream of the footballer.
Yeah.
It's something we are told out there that it's something that some women aspire to. The football husband. But you two are now totally engaged with the netball.
We're watching the netball, yeah.
Because do you know something?
I was looking at the pitch.
Yeah.
When I was at school, they were set. The girls played in set areas.
Did they?
And there's just a D, like in a 5. They're playing netball on a 5-side pitch.
It's right to roam. They've got the right to roam. They can go wherever they like.
Yeah. They're a team of liberos.
Yeah, liberos.
Yeah.
But they're very. It's quite sexy, isn't it? It's
What?
just watching netball. You
No.
suddenly realise
It's not.
I think it is, man. Sometimes you get. I tell you haven't seen the Dutch side. Whew! Man, they're really good players. They really move that ball around.
That woman looks like Vince Hilaire.
It's 11:27. We're going to take a break. Then we're going down the River Nile for another guest. Stay with us.
Talk Sport. On air, online and on TV at Virgin Media Channel 927.
This is your warm-up on TalkSport. I'm Johnny Vaughan with peculiarly ambient sound this morning in my headphones.
You're
It's
in the
slightly-
cave.
Yeah, it's slightly confusing. I'm not getting that intimacy I normally get.
It's because we've got the Orb producing the show this
I
week.
don't know what it is.
Alex
The
Patterson's
Orb.
on the mixing
Is
desk.
he?
Yeah.
I just saw the most fantastic goal and it was on the television. It was one of those goals where the goalkeeper is caught slightly off his line.
He doesn't realise he's going to hit it that early.
He doesn't realise he's going to hit that early. It goes over into the back corner. But I love it when the goalkeeper gets caught in the net.
Which is
Because
what happened
Yeah,
then.
this is what happened. He keeps going back and back, and it reminds you it's also to stop the
It's
goalkeeper.
caught like a fish.
Yeah. And suddenly you see them hammering against the net like a trapped salmon. And you only think of Billy the Fish.
Yeah.
You really do.
He's been trawled.
I suddenly realised how wealthy the salmon nations are on Earth. I started conceiving this week of the salmon curtain.
What, like Canada
Behind the,
and...
yeah, Norway,
Scotland?
Canada, Scotland. Yeah, the whole doesn't matter. The whole what I call the salmon economy.
Whiskey and salmon.
Whiskey and salmon and golf.
High-end products.
Yeah, exactly right. And those bankers who go off
Luxury foods.
helicopter salmon fishing.
Yeah,
A truffle and
You know-
and salmon farm.
Also, because anywhere where there's salmon, there's minerals as well, isn't there? There's minerals and sports. And there is
Pop.
there's
Remember we
pop.
used to call like drinks minerals.
Yes, a
What
mineral
was that
water.
about? No,
I
before
don't
mineral
know.
water, you used to just call like pop.
Yeah, why is it
minerals.
mineral
Do
water?
you remember that? Like a little bottle of Cherryade, minerals.
Yeah. James, have you all got any minerals? I've got to tell you, James, right, I'm nodding my head there.
Can we stand salmon?
I've never
Tony
heard.
Stan salmon.
I've never heard of that. I've never heard that. I've never heard minerals as a drink.
It used to be called minerals.
James,
I've never heard of that.
Drop down
Yeah,
to
but you
the
from
shop.
South Africa.
That's true. When I was that age, I wasn't in the
What's your
country.
vibe today? The vibe today is cream soda here.
It's minerals,
Yeah,
eh?
I'll go and get some dandelion and
Yeah,
burdock.
Jumbo calls them minerals. He's just come in County Armagh. You want to argue it for manner? Sorry, he's corrected me. Sorry, for manner. Sorry about that.
I wouldn't say that there. That's Bonnet Connery.
Hey, listen, salmon fishing.
Kenny or Morris, that's Bonnet Connery. Don't attribute John to that, because that is bad.
No attribution.
No attribution. There'll be no attribution here now. Today, there'll be no attribution. Take that out.
And he's a regular listener to the show. Loves the show.
Who is he?
Who?
Paul Whitehouse
does he?
from the Fast Show and the rest of it. And
Is he really?
He's a big fan of the show. So
I don't believe that.
No, it's true.
All I ever hear is that he's just always really rude about me.
No, not at all.
That's what I heard. That's what I said. Yeah, Paul was slagging you off the other day.
That's not true. He did say there was a Chelsea Spurs match where he spent all night talking to him over his shoulder, but he wasn't rude about it at all. But he goes, I was talking to him about fishing. You have to put the fish back now.
Yeah,
he goes salmon fishing in the River Dee and he puts the fish back.
That depends if you are drinking minerals.
Hey, come here, tell him. Look, Chambo, tell him.
Chambo said, you ready?
Yeah, minerals.
Have you heard that before?
When we were kids, I think it must be a north of England.
It must be, yeah.
Northern Ireland. You call them minerals, and it will be cherryade, limeade,
lemonade.
What's interesting is he sees very much where he's from as the north of England.
The north of Britain.
When you're from the north, well, I'm from the north of Britain now. This is a big issue, but you know what? It's nice to have a show that can laugh about it.
It is, yeah.
The truth about it is, if someone says to you and they're talking about the troubled region that John is from, the truth is, if whatever anyone says, there is
not
one
troubled anymore.
There is one. Yes, well, the point is, if anyone ever asks you about it, your simple answer is, it's more complicated than that.
Yes.
And then simply step away.
Walk away.
Speaking of hard men.
Go on, James, is it about something else we haven't heard of?
No.
Did you used to call cars chuff chuff?
Barry says, name your local team's hard man.
Yeah.
It's got to be Potsy for Swanfika FC.
Swanfika?
Swanfika, that's great.
Potsy's a great nickname. We like the nickname.
Potsy's on Twitter if you want to follow the hard man from Swanfika. At Potsy016.
Brilliant.
Hashtag take no prisoners.
That's as good as A3 Milan, isn't it?
My dad was driving around in an iron horse. And
a magical carriage.
He was driving in a wheelie steel. And did you not call that? Hey, James.
Stealing.
James, I think we've blown one of the rubbers on the car. Did you not call the tyres Indians? Because it was Indian rubber. We need a new Indian.
Hey, hang on. You challenged me. Chambo comes in and says it's the same in Northern Ireland.
No, it's the same in the north of England.
It's been corroborated.
It's been corroborated. I've got corroborating evidence, sir.
It's been attributed and corroborated.
There'll be no attribution here now. Okay. Let's have a guest. It's time to take another trip down the River Nile.
It's just gone noon, our fast monsoon on the banks of the River Nile. Here comes the boat, only half afloat. Osman grins a toothless smile. Only just one more to this desolate shore. Last boat along the River Nile. Doesn't seem to care, no more wind in his hair as he reaches his...
Well, there we go. As Suggsy says, let's take a walk down the River Nile with Suggs to the rocksteady beats. We got some people on the show, but who have we got? I tell you what, we've got a guest.
Go, keep going. Do the whole interview as Suggs.
No, don't.
I shall be interviewing today as Suggs. Yes, we've got a guest today on the show, Suggs. It has just gone noon. It hasn't just gone noon, it's 11:37.
Yeah, we're doing this too early.
Ian Benjamin, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, Ian.
Hello, you alright?
Yeah, not too bad, Ian. How are you this morning?
Not too bad. A slight sore head from having a couple of beers last night, but...
You did what?
You had a warm-up last night.
A couple of beers last night. We had I managed a pub and we had a Motown night down there. We had a guy come down from Liverpool singing Motown songs. I decided to have a few beers and enjoy the night.
What's the pub, Ian?
What's the pub called?
It's called the Wayfarers Inn in Kettering.
It's the Wayfarers in Kettering. John, I go through Kettering sometimes. And so, by the sound of it, I shall continue to. No, I'm only kidding. No. But I have to tell you, the lure of a singer coming down from Liverpool to sing a bit of Motown.
Has he got a stage name?
All right. What's his name?
I think it's called himself TK.
TK?
TK,
Right,
Is he sing to the max?
He was a black guy. He was a big black guy. You wouldn't argue with him. I tell you, if he was no, you wouldn't argue with him. He was massive.
Massive black scouser called TK.
Well, he didn't have a Scouse accent, actually. He had like an American accent. It was weird.
But that's probably just for the singing.
They put that on because it doesn't link it. It doesn't link in very well into Motown. If you go, all right, here's another classic
from the Motor City.
Live from the Motor City of Detroit, a really fine place for all the boys and girls.
I was talking to Berry Gordy the other day.
Yeah. Yowza. Yeah.
Was he good?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. It was pretty good. He had a lot of the ladies up dancing and that. You know, it was a good night.
Okay. I thought he had a lot of ladies and that up dancing. It was a good. Okay, can I just ask you? Is that how you measure a good night? If there's a lot of ladies up there dancing?
Well, yeah. Normally there you don't get too many people up there. You know, dancing when the bands are on and the music's on and that. But there was a lot of them up there.
Okay. What have you got on tonight?
What have we got on tonight? We've got like a soul night.
Another soul night!
Excellent.
Yeah, because it's nice. It's nice to mix it up, isn't it? Fridays we're going to have a Motown night. Then we're going to really change it up. Saturdays is a soul night.
But we can see the connection here.
That's just a coincidence. We don't. I mean, obviously, this guy's a one-off, like, you know. So,
okay.
But the soul night we have once a month, the first Saturday of every month at the Waystovers, yeah.
Okay. Ian is a former Peterborough, Northampton and Southend forward. He's here because he's recommended by Mickey Ginn, who is recommended by Dave Bennett, who's recommended by Gary Bennett, who's recommended by Gary Owers, who's recommended by Dickie Ord, who, of course, is recommended by
Niall Quinn, yes.
Sorry, we all have to say that together.
We do,
the source of the River Nile.
That's right.
That's the source. Ian, I've got to start by saying, do you know Niall? Have you met Niall?
Can't remember. I think I may have played against him years and years ago.
Okay. Have you ever been?
I may have done.
Have you been out drinking with any of the people in that squad we've mentioned? Obviously, Mickey Ginn you've been drinking with.
Yeah, and Dave Bennett.
Okay, and Dave Bennett.
Did you go to the Soul Nights with them?
I went to a soul night in Derby when Mick was playing some music and that a couple of years ago.
So Mickey's a DJ.
Mickey does a bit of DJing.
God, if we'd known that.
He's been on one or two radio stations, hasn't he, in London, playing his
hang on,
music.
Mickey didn't mention he was a DJ and postman ex-footballer.
Nah. He's got soul. I tell you what, I've been around his house. He must have about 50 odd grand's worth of soul music.
Really? Does he do the early stuff?
He's probably got more now because he opened this cupboard one time and all these CDs fell out. He's got albums all over the floor upstairs in his house.
He never told us about this.
Yeah. He's got absolutely loads of soul. When I say soul, he likes smooth jazz and things like that.
Smooth jazz. Can I tell you something? Yeah. Apart from the fact that smooth jazz is a bit aeroplane for me. But you've mentioned that. Actually, I won't bring us back to Mickey Ginn. I'm just disappointed we didn't know last week that Mickey Ginn was. But I'm just saying, Mickey will not be thanking you now. If he's out the house and there's no one at home,
50 grand's worth of records.
Because he must have about 50 grand's worth of records.
And he's a postman.
Thinking, wait a second.
Early morning.
He's got 7-inch singles that are worth about.
So if you are thinking of doing Mickey Ginn's soul collection, he's got a massive alsatian.
Because Mickey is not thanking you. Yeah, and you want to see his collection of vintage sovereigns. He has got a box of rings like you wouldn't believe. He must have about 90 gold sovereigns in there,
like trophies.
Yeah, and he just has them there on the front table. Okay, sorry. How do you normally warm up, or how did you used to warm up in the old days?
Me, I never used to go on the pitch. I used to stay in the dressing room and
with a brandy and a cigar.
He just didn't bother.
Okay. No. Take us. Okay.
The manager said, "Try this whiskey before you go out." And
Okay.
Excellent.
Let me ask you the question again. How didn't you warm up?
I used to sit in the dressing room having a cup of coffee. No, I used to sit in there. And just do some. I used to go in there, do some stretches, just do a little bit of running on the spot, and then
Okay. That sounds really like you were trying. Don't add these things to make it look like you did a bit more, because you're suddenly thinking, God, I was really a bad professional. I'm thinking, did I really sit there having a cup of coffee
and a cigarette?
Okay, here's my point.
Yeah, that was just the way. That's just the way it was. I mean,
Is when you were playing, I mean, you and the likes of Mickey Ginn, we've heard his warm up. That was Dave Bennett's was to sit in a bath with a glass of brandy,
listening to Maxi Priest.
What was Mickey Ginn's last week?
I can't remember. What was it?
Mickey Ginn's, but I don't think he had one. I mean, what I wonder is if people used to see you before a game, did they ever wonder, so who's playing then? Who's playing? They don't seem like they're...
No one's getting ready.
I'd love to have a manager...
I actually got accused by the chairman, because there was a bit of when I was at Southend, Vic Jobson, God bless him, was the chairman at Southend, and him and David Webb, the manager, had a little bit of a falling out, and apparently the supporters were doing something where they were going to show the chairman the red card because of this fallout between him and the manager, because we were very successful in those days. And I remember coming off the toilet, so I was sat on the bog.
Right.
Coming off the toilet, and the lads had come in, and the lads had gone out and showed the chairman the red card as well. And on the Monday, I got called into the chairman's office, because I was the captain at the time, and he said, I hear that you led the players out and showed me the red card. And I said, no, couldn't have been me, because I said, I don't go out for a warm-up.
You have to admit it.
I take in fact, Chairman, I take no interest in the game whatsoever.
I was reading the paper.
You've got to drag me on there for the match.
I didn't even know it was going on.
The chairman wasn't even there, but obviously it must have been the vice chairman who thought that Chris Powell and I looked exactly the same.
Brilliant.
So although it was Chris Powell, that was I was in the toilet on the bug.
Is that great that a chairman who wasn't there accused a player who wasn't on the pitch of holding a red card at him? If you'd both actually been there, you'd have been able to solve that one. James.
What I want to know is, you in 17 years you played for 12 clubs. Which was the best one?
The most enjoyable one that was at Southend United.
Despite the chairman accusing you of red carding him.
It's a great little town, isn't it? It's a great little town, Southend.
Yeah, I just really enjoyed it. Just getting up every morning and going in training was an absolute pleasure.
I thought you meant about.
Yeah, the place itself. Yeah, we used to play on a Friday night. You see, before we got promoted to what is it, League One now, the Championship. So our games were on a Friday night, and which the lads really enjoyed, because it meant we could have a night out on after the game and that, and then. David Webb used to get us in the morning to just have a little bit of a warm down. So
three things here. In a second, we're going to talk about what your warm down was. We've heard about the warm up, the warm down. In fact, tell us now. How did you warm down after a game?
Well, our warm down was. I remember we played Cambridge United away on a Sunday, and I think we were in 4-1, and the gaffer. John Beck had his lads out running after the game because we beat them. So Dave Webb made us walk out and stand watching them with a bottle of Beck's in our hand.
Brilliant.
That was our warm down.
Psychological warfare.
So you'd warm up by sitting in the change room with a cup of coffee, and maybe run on the spot for a bit.
Maybe a brandy.
maybe a brandy.
That was Graham Carr at Northampton.
And you'd
whiskies.
And used to warm down by just holding a bottle of Beck's in front of the other team. Okay, who are you nominating for next week, Ian? Who do you think we should speak to? Who's going to be funny? Who's going to be funny and equally as lazy?
In that case, I'll go for a lad called Peter Glazier.
Peter
Glazier.
How'd you spell that?
It's Glaasure.
Who did he play for?
He lives in Luton. He used to play for Millwall and Northampton.
Oh, right, okay. I thought we were going out the realms of players now. He's not a player. He's just
he's a goalkeeper. He's a goalkeeper.
Okay, he's a goalkeeper. Who did he play for? Luton and Millwall?
Yeah.
He played for Millwall and Northampton Town. He lives in Luton. He's a Luton Town supporter.
So he's played for Luton, Millwall and Northampton
No, he didn't
Town.
play for Luton.
he
He
lives in
No, he
Luton.
didn't play for Luton.
Okay.
He lives in Luton.
What's he do now?
In that era? Okay, go on.
He's a driving instructor.
Fantastic.
Okay, listen, we've really got to take a break. It has been lovely talking to you. It's been another great stop down the very old school river that is the River Nile. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Ian Benjamin.
Ian Benjamin.
Thanks, Ian.
Thank you.
Once we had a craze on. Do you remember the Return of the Lost Palmers 7?
Oh yeah, Madness.
Great tune. But in it, Suggsy only says one word, which is waiter.
Right.
That's what he says.
Should we have that? Should we have that?
No, we're not going to have that. But we had a night out with. This was when I was about 22 or something. We had a night out. We really thought we were going to really strap one on, get a few drinks in. But our catchphrase all evening was, because of that tune, we were going waiter. Anyway, later on that night, when they were taking a friend of mine into the ambulance from the basement flat,
Was it Jack the Hat
on
with me?
a stretcher. He was being stretched up, which was hard from this basement flat, which was called the hutch. It smelled like a rabbit
quite a
hutch.
heft.
It was quite a heft. And he was up there. We were quite worried about him. And cause he's got the oxygen mask on and everything. And so they took him up the stairs. And as he stopped, he suddenly just raised his hand. He raised his hand, and they pulled back because he wanted to say something. They pulled the oxygen mask off his face, and he just went, waiter. And we just went, load him up.
Load him up.
Load him up.
Load him up and pump
Johnny,
his
how
stomach.
come he'd been hospitalised? What had happened?
You drank too much.
I think you're not meant to have that much spirits.
Yes.
I think there's a ceiling, and I think he'd gone through that, where it's suspected now it's stomach pumpy time.
He'd gone through the ceiling in the basement.
Yes.
Of the hutch.
He really had gone through the... I tell you what, hit the hutch. The hutch was the place to be, mate. It was fantastic. It was like a well, it smelled like a rabbit. It was like a rabbit hutch with men drinking beer in it.
Like a Soho drinking club.
That's what it smelled like. James, we're not allowed to give away that Scotland shirt, which I'm disappointed about this morning.
Yeah.
How disappointed were you to receive that white shirt and a Scotland shirt you didn't
That
want?
crown green bowl shirt.
When Gav and I, exactly, if you really, really want to...
I only wanted the Scotland shirt with 1974 with Bremner on the back, because
Yeah.
that year half the Scottish team were from Leeds. They were like, well, 5 Leeds players in that
Oh,
Scotland
is that
team.
why you like them?
Yeah, that's why I won the 74 one with Bremner on the back.
Billy Bremner
I just want
and
some old
Gordon McQueen
1962 Scotland shirt.
George Jordan and Mark Duxbury.
Oh, no, not Mark Duxbury.
Mike Duxbury was...
No, he didn't. He played for...
You're thinking of Martin Buchan.
I'm thinking of Martin Buchan, exactly what I'm thinking of. Thank you very much, James, for telling me what I was thinking of.
Because you had actually told us the wrong thing that you were thinking of.
It's not a section of the show I thought we were ever going to have to deal with, but it's fantastic.
Mind reading.
Yeah. James Brown.
Is James Randy.
Mind reader. It is 11:56. This is your warm-up on TalkSport. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're looking for your texts. About what we doing this morning, James? Bullies, hard men.
Yeah.
We're looking for your hard men text. Who is the hard man
in your team?
Let's have those in, please. And we were also looking for
Your injuries.
Your injuries, as usual.
We need your injury news
with nicknames.
Get those in, but also, finally, any mums you want to thank. It's only because it was Mother's Day last weekend.
Yeah, for lending you the car.
Yeah, we want anyone you want to out who borrows his mum's car.
Or your mum's giving you a lift to a match.
When was the last time you borrowed your mum's car? Particularly for an away game, because that really messes a car up.
It does.
Or the Sunday League match with 8 of you in it.
The pastry alone from the Ginsters. Once that pastry starts to grease a carpet, that smell's never coming out. And they go everywhere. A Greg's sausage roll. It's honestly, you say to a cab driver, "Do you mind if I eat this in the back of your car?"
They don't like it.
They go. They'll say to you, "What have you got?" They go, "No. Anything apart from a Greg's sausage roll, you can't have that." Unless you literally have your head in the bag. It's 11:57. This is the warm-up on TalkSport in association with Capital One. This is the warm-up on TalkSport. Thank you very much. I'm not saying James is behind the times, but suggesting guests for the show. He goes, "What about that Gabby Yoreth? Maybe we could get drinking minerals."
I was suggesting of something else.
No, we
on
should
a different show.
Maybe we get Gabby Yoreth.
I was saying she'd be good on a different show,
talk.
not on our guests. I'd have her dad, Terry Yoreth.
Maybe get Gabby Yoreth drinking minerals. Talking about gymnastics.
Right,
He's the
don't
only-
look all serious, James.
He's the only
She's been called
footballer
Logan.
He's the only footballer mentioned in Shakespeare.
Who?
Terry Yoreth.
Oh, Yoreth.
Alas, poor Yoreth.
Oh, you're absolutely right. He's absolutely right.
Yeah, just so you know that.
Okay, thanks, James.
He's sophisticated.
All right, James, it's not even good literary humour. It's 12:01, right here on the warm-up on TalkSport. James Brown, an absolutely terrible form today, but his son is blind.
It's rocking.
Thank you very much for coming in this morning and playing games silently and responsibly. I appreciate that. Could you perhaps give the game to your dad and
get on the
and
mic?
perhaps you take his microphone. Okay.
Yeah, okay, we'll do that next. Do that next.
You guys are at best mischievous.
Oh, man.
That looked like the Leeds players.
12:06, right here on warm up, and there's a beautiful bit of music from. If you can name where that's from, you're really good. That bit of music, it brings back good memories for me. What do you think?
Yeah, we were watching Sky then.
All right,
the
sorry.
Leeds players
All right.
warming up looked like they were dancing to it.
Yeah, they
Were
did.
they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were really good.
Well, it's funny actually because it was played at workers' playtime after the 6 o'clock whistle in Chigley,
And they danced.
When they
Well,
all
they
used to
danced.
come out of the factory and
And dance.
immediately have an impromptu dance.
which I think is a great thing at the end of a working day.
Should we do that after the
Yeah,
show?
definitely we should dance.
Go out to the
cheerful
South Bank and have a
workforce.
Come on,
dance.
James, we do anyway. Come on, we will have a bit of a dance. Before we do the podcast, intro and outro, do download the podcast, incidentally. It is smashing bit of radio. It's a smashing bit of radio. Anyway, that is from the Dutch barrel organ, which always sounds like something filthy. Well, the old Dutch organ. He's got in the car, he's only done a Dutch organ. Okay, welcome back to the warm-up. Lovely to have you on board. We've got loads coming for you this half. We're going to start it off, though, by going to Don McGuinness, who's at the Etihad, with the team news ahead of Manchester City versus Southampton. Dom, are you sexual?
Bit chilly for that.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But we are looking forward to Manchester City against. The referee today is Chris Foy. It is, as I say, a little bit chilly. The pitch, fantastic. The ground filling up nicely. It is Manchester City against Southampton, 12:45 kickoff.
Beecroft, what's fantastic about the pitch, particularly today?
Beecroft?
Sorry, McGuinness.
He's not talking to you, McGuinness.
No, McGuinness, what's fantastic about the pitch
Are you
there?
back at public school?
Yes, go on.
Surnames only.
Yes, I am. Not going with that.
Well, the pitch.
Get on with it, McGuinness.
It's excellent. It's this mixture of grass and artificial materials, and it just, whatever the conditions weather-wise, and we get the odd bit of rain here. It just always looks fabulous, and it's expansive. It's a wide pitch, and Southampton with their lovely passing players, they should have a real go here today, I think.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much.
Yes, good.
Always the best pitch. Always the best pitch of the Etihad. Always the greatest. Let's have Graham Beecroft. He's at Wigan.
Well, he's Leeds United, and I would think he's probably having a mineral with Gabby Yoreth.
How are you this morning? Are you sexual?
I haven't really thought about it, to be perfectly honest with you, or indeed the calibre of the pitch here. But nevertheless, we're looking forward to a good game. Wigan will remain fifth. Michael Brown, Michael Tong, Matt Smith, Scott Wootton, Sam Byram and Ross McCormack. It's Wigan Athletic here against Leeds United at the DW.
Thank you very much indeed. What is it about the name Ross McCormack? He just is part of Spinal Tap, isn't he? As soon as you hear, he's just another drummer they've missed out. Of course, it was Ross McCormack. It just sounds like some
Sticks McCormack.
Yeah, Sticks McCormack. You're right there, James.
I just wish Brian McDermott would leave.
Do you?
Yeah, he's such a nice fella, but he's just a bad manager.
Is he?
He just dropped the two players who played well last week.
Maybe
and put
Cellino.
in
Maybe
two of his
Cellino will
mates.
replace him if he gets
Oh,
in.
we were talking about at the top of the hour, weren't we? Or top of the show, the Cellino phone call last Sunday. There's a kid who's on the website. It's called Toenail Soup.
Yeah,
and he's got.
Sounds delicious.
He sounds like Michael
sound
Jackson. He's a young Leeds fan. He's been brought up in Canada apparently, and he's rang Ken Bates on the Saturday.
What do you mean
night.
he sounds like Michael Jackson? When
His voice sounds just like Michael Jackson or
But
Willy
they're
Wonka.
Really quiet, like Michael,
Yeah, that's exactly how he talks.
Like Michael.
Because of that, because he sounded like a kid. Ken Bates on the Saturday and on Sunday, Cellino both talked to him at length on the phone, and the resulting conversation that we can't play this, but because Cellino didn't know he was being You didn't know he's been interviewed. But
He sounded very
It sounded like your Scarface.
He sounded like Sosa on Scarface.
I like you, Tony.
I like you, Tony. There is no lying in you.
There's no lying in you.
It's a 23
the worst
minutes.
line in Scarface. It really clunks, doesn't it? I like you, Tony. There's no lying in you. Yeah, because Tony Montana strikes me as a really honest guy. Yeah, no, he does, yeah.
Yeah, but all he's got is his world.
Trust
his
Tony.
word.
All I have in this world is my word and my boss, and I don't break them for no one. And he does a lovely work.
Forget about 13.5.
Yeah, forever. Hey, that's not tough one.
This is what the call sounded like.
They got satellites tracking you. Satellites.
The way he does his fingers with satellites.
They got satellites.
It sounded like amazing. It was the best radio since Gazza went to help find Moti. It was amazing. It was a truly amazing interview. I don't know if it's still online, but
okay. Do you know what? I was going to tell you a quick story then, because I've just heard that the Outsiders on the line. I love the story, certainly. I love when you go to football and you bump into the usual crowd every week. And one of the things I love about it is that you get a good story out of it. And there's a guy I bump into, he's called Dan. And he's telling me a story about another mate of ours who we'll just call Chris, who's one of those guys who does really get the drinks back, yeah? He gets the drinks back and he's quite unreliable, but he often turns up with various injuries, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
But
Drinking related.
Well, yes, but he's turned up with a broken arm. Yeah, everyone's like, how did he break his arm? This is what happened. He was driving down a road near me in London on his moped. Well, I say moped, it's one of those ones that is a moped, but it looks like a chopper.
Right.
Yeah. And he's driving on that. And he gets T-boned by a car.
Right.
Bang!
Into his side.
Into his side, right?
yeah.
He's T-boned by a car. And there's all the passers-by gather round, yeah? And they just hear... and they can't find him. And they're looking under cars. And everyone in the street gets him on. People come around going, no, it's just a bike there, we can't find him. Yeah? So everyone's going, the police turn up. The police actually turn up and they go, what's happened? They go, he's been knocked off his bike. And they're going, where is he? And we're going, we don't know. So the policeman actually goes, right, shut up everyone! Just shut up! And they just listen, they just hear... And we're going, where is he? And everyone's looking around, the policeman going, just shut up! And they're trying to follow the sound.
Yeah.
Where it comes from. Do you know where he is? He's lying on top of the bus stop. on top of the shelter.
He's been punted onto the...
so high in the air. And he said the first thing he saw was a policeman looking up the top. He's thinking, actually thought to himself, where am I lying?
Yeah, why are they climbing to find me?
Yeah, why is a policeman's eyes on my eye level when it's just half his head? And why can I see his hands?
That's brilliant.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's 12:15 right here on the warm-up. I'm Johnny Vaughan, joined by James Brown, Gavin Woods. We're back in a couple of seconds with the all-new Outsider.
Talk Sport, on air, online and on TV at Freeview Channel 723.
I want dame-changing radio.
Game-changing.
Not game-changing.
No, dame-changing.
Name-changing.
That was a real... Didn't you have those moments sometimes with women that are what I call a real dame-changer? I was with Judi Dench the other day. She suddenly got living with me. I thought, wow, that was a dame-changing...
She totally changed the dame.
It was a dame-changer. I once had a row with Mrs Thatcher at Wimbledon, funnily enough. I just came out the...
Did you?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Well done.
Well, I barged her.
Fantastic.
But I tell you something. With
Was
Mrs.
she not for turning?
Approval ratings going up in Yorkshire right now.
I mean, no, but it's massive. It was, well, it's not now.
And it doesn't move.
It's like a massive Brussels sprout.
It's like a Brussels sprout on a stick.
Was it sort of spiky, like
It was
hard
spiky,
candy floss?
Yeah, like hard candy floss. Yeah, I knocked in my head, knocked into her head.
You
Spiners.
No, it wasn't. It
Everyone.
wasn't. Vaughan butt statue. I mean, it wasn't. Look, guys, shut up. I just came out of a bit of corporate hospitality. I was laughing and I backed into Mrs Thatcher and our heads clashed.
I've got a great bully story here.
There was a clash of heads with Mrs Thatcher. But the point about it was she was crossing me, and I now see it was a dame-changing moment.
It was, yeah. This is from Tom in Hingham, a team bully. Can I put forward Daniel the Postman Edmonds, a defender, 6'4" at Hingham United, team bully. His favourite rant at players, his own players, was, if you're not picking up cards, you're not tackling hard enough.
Nice. If you're not picking up cards.
So you should be aiming for cards.
Okay, Rob Gardner
Brilliant.
For Constantine AFC in Cornwall, the Don, and must be the hardest man in Cornish football.
Oh, that's a title.
And shall Trelawney die? And shall Trelawney die?
Does he go wrecking on his days off?
There's 24 Cornishmen must know the reason why.
I've got a mother's car here from J.E. Clark on Twitter. I bothered my mother's Aigo for Sunderland at Birmingham, August 2007, with Neil Mack, 84. Youths threw stones at the car on the way out.
Oh, dear.
Youths.
Youths.
There are a lot of youths. A lot of youths have come up.
Was it you talk about hard men. Was it Mick McCarthy who used to say, which one of you is going to get injured for me today? That was his team talk.
That was his motivation.
Which one of you? I think it was Mick McCarthy. Which one of you is going to get injured?
Take a manly injury
for me.
Yeah,
for me. Okay, here we go. I've got a good one for you here. Well, I think it is. As a football man, hooray that someone's done that.
Yeah, good one.
Do that with your text. Double AFM. Sorry, double AFM. As a football man, I'm borrowing Mum's car to go and coach Cowdenbeath FC goalkeepers versus Falkirk away. And that's from Craig Wright. Craig, here you go. Oh,
he really is a football man.
He is.
It's appalling this time. Okay. Anyway, that's Craig Wright. What do we know about Craig Wright? I tell you what we know about Craig Wright.
He drives his own car. He drives his mum's car.
Craig Wright. He drives his mum's car. Absolutely right. If you know someone who drives their mum's car, please, this is the show to out them on. And also to say thanks to that mum.
That was quite a classy jingle, wasn't it?
It was quite classy. Hashtag thanks mum. Go on.
Ian sent us a text. He said, Romeo Zondervan, midfielder of Ipswich, is also mentioned in Shakespeare.
He certainly is.
So Zondervan?
Yeah, alas, Paul.
Romeo.
Yes, alas, Paul Zondervan. That's right, Joseph.
Boy, you know the rebel sleeve of care.
Yeah, boy, you know your way around the bard.
Hey, can I mention, we got any furniture? Can I mention Arsenal and Wenger to this morning? Bizarre quotes in the press today.
Was taking the wrong medication.
He's talking. Well, Arsenal's Gavin's an Arsenal fan, so he might be able to comment on this. He's talking about investigating why there's been so many injuries at Arsenal this year.
Injuries, yeah.
And he said some of them, muscle injuries, are down to the medication that the players take that you don't even know about as a club. Then you realised afterwards that they took this medication, but that's not prudent. And then the journalist said to him, "What sort of medication do they take?" And he goes, if you lose your hair and you've taken something to make your hair grow, it might not be good, especially for the rest of your body. How many of the Arsenal team are taking hair restorer?
23-year-olds.
Jack Wilshere's coming out looking like Jimi Hendrix or someone.
Okay, hang on. So who on your
think who?
Do you think there's someone at your club on the hair restorer?
Lads, while they fade down your argument, I've just had the soothing voice of John British John just saying to me, and he said it in that voice, went cross-check, Captain Doris Manual. It literally sounded like cross-check, Captain Doris Manual.
Talk Sport on air, online, and on TV at Freeview Channel 723.
It's amazing that ball actually trickled through, found a gap through there past the Tan Army. By Tan Army, I don't mean Vincent Tan.
Dan.
Talking about the beige kit.
Football club in red. Next season I'll make them purple and they'll be mine.
There was a rumour that Vincent Tan's relatives were going to buy Leeds this week. Yeah.
Would you prefer him or Cellino?
The family Tan.
The Tan dynasty.
Fang Tan.
Many years ago, in the time of the Tan dynasty. It's sort of water margin. Okay. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The start
Pigsy.
Goes, Live Yang Chang Po. The Pigsy was in Monkey, not water margin.
That's right.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry.
Water
I
margin
stand corrected.
was Ling Chong and Yang Chang Po.
Yeah, well, let's get the music for that. It was a great theme tune.
It was like the James
Next
Bond
week.
theme. It was like the James Bond theme. It was a James Bond rip-off.
Yeah.
Because he used to say at the start, which is always something my father used to use as one of his sort of wise sayings. He used to say at the start, they had the guy voicing it in that who was actually English, but he was got all the work doing stupid Chinese accents. He used to go, "Do not despise an ancient Chinese proverb say, do not despise snake or has no horns. Who knows? Someday it may become mighty dragon."
It's not likely though.
It's unlikely. That's what I felt at the time.
I don't think snakes become dragons. With horns.
No, but who goes around despising snakes for not having horns?
Exactly.
Look at you.
Why would you resent
hornless-
a reptile?
Yeah. Do not despise a snake for having no horns. Do you know what I hate about snakes? Well, they haven't got horns.
Yeah,
I hate
it's
that.
really irritating.
I despise that.
Vincent Tan takes snakes to the game.
Has he?
Vincent Tan takes snakes
What, for
in a
good luck?
bag to the Cardiff game for luck.
He doesn't.
He does, loads of snakes.
My bag of snakes. Could you hold these for a while? What are they? Just a bag of snakes. Okay, so that's enough Vincent Tan fun. Full contact. The other thing I wanted to say before. No, wait a second. I'm going to get rid of as many items as possible here. Full contact. Lady United. What's your vibe today? Okay.
Are you sexual?
Yeah. Are you sexual? Yeah.
Gus Poirier?
Feed him to the pigs.
Make a thought. Yeah, feed to the pigs. That's enough. WrestleMania is on this weekend, Sunday night, and I've got to tell you, if you heard that advert for it earlier, just to give it an extra little plug here, I love the WWE, but Brock Lesnar is the greatest ever baddie I've ever known in wrestling. He is so hateable. You know, in wrestling, it became the thing where...
He's a UFC champ, isn't he?
Yeah, but it's the guys you hate. It's the guys you hate. You suddenly start becoming the massive goodies, right? They started becoming the people that everyone liked. The baddies became good in wrestling. Brock Lesnar is so bad that he even outflanks that. He's so bad, he is just bad and booed.
He's like the Roy Keane.
Oh, yeah, he is.
He's like the Vincent Tan.
He's the bully.
This fight he's going to have this weekend, let me tell you, he's taking on, this weekend he's on WrestleMania. It's Brock Lesnar against The Undertaker, who of course died years ago.
I thought you were going to say against The Undertones.
No, he's against The Undertaker, who of course was killed years ago by the Mouth from the South. So he's undead. And he's going to be taking on Brock Lesnar. It promises to be the most amazing WrestleMania. You can get the chance to take on Batista or the Legend Killer, Randy Orton. Just
Right,
awesome.
come
Just
on,
awesome.
let's do
Wait
these
a second,
predictions.
Wait a second, Gav. We haven't got time for Back in Black today.
No.
But what was going to be your Back in Blackers today?
There was two twins playing in a game in Italy. One of them got sent off wrongly.
Nice.
Just like the game. And there was a game in Brazil where a coach slapped the ref.
Yeah.
And the police came on and pepper sprayed the goalie, and he couldn't play on.
Nice.
And the third one was Alan Pardew is back with Kevin Friend, that ref that sent him off for the headbutt. So, but the website I looked at, the Mag, it's a Toon fan website, said unless he gets upset and leaps Rambo-like from the stands.
Yes.
So
we know he's going.
they've been listening.
Yeah, they really have. Thank you
Anyway,
very much
that was
for
it. That was a...
We're going to take that as a name check because we don't get many of them. Yeah. Right, it's time for the warm-up predictions. We welcome Bella Shah. Hi, Bella.
Hi, guys.
You on form today?
Obviously.
You certainly look it. Let's have a look at the leaderboard. The bench are top of the league. You are top of the league with 58 points.
Not for long.
Yes. Gav has now overtaken me. He's in second spot by 1 point. Last week, Gav predicted wins for Liverpool and Bury. Well done, Gav. I got nothing last week. I'm on 50 points. James Brown, where are we? I got 39 points.
He got correct score. He got 4 points.
I got 4-0 Liverpool Spurs and a win for Bury.
Which is... Bury? Oh, you're just being ridiculous now.
That's how you say it.
Is it?
Is it Bury? If you go to Bury, you will drink minerals.
Everton v Arsenal. Gavin.
Yoris.
Okay. Everton versus Arsenal. 1:30 tomorrow. Live exclusive radio commentary on TalkSport. Where are you going, Gav?
I'm going with my head. 1-1.
Oh. Sorry.
It
Can I
doesn't
just,
matter.
before we go
It
any
doesn't
further...
matter. It doesn't matter if we have the same scores.
Where are you going, Bella?
Wait, Gavin hasn't finished yet.
He did it.
Okay.
Bella?
Can I just... I just want to show you that I've written all my scores
believe you.
down.
Doesn't
Right.
matter.
Got it.
I'm going 1-1.
Okay, you're going 1-1. James?
I'm going 2-2.
2-2. I think it's going to be a win for... I think you're mad. It's going to be a win for Everton. 2-1. Right. Here we go. Sorry. I think Everton 2-1.
Come on.
Okay. Port Vale versus Walsall. I'm going 1-0 here. What do you think, Gav?
I'm going to go 2-1.
2-1. Bench?
2-0.
I'm going 1-0.
Sorry, I did say 1-0. Okay, here we go. Wimbledon versus Bristol Rovers. Gav?
2-1.
2-1. Bench?
What?
I'm the bench.
I know. Just doing what my French teacher used to do. Bella.
Oh, yeah, looking one way and saying
yeah,
that
yeah,
try and catch you out.
Go on, Bella.
1-2.
1-2, okay.
Testing.
Bella, you haven't finished yet, have you?
What have you got, Gav?
Okay, James?
I've gone 1-0 to AFC Wimbledon.
This can be quicker. It's not interesting radio, guys. Come on.
1-0 at Wimbledon.
Anyone can do this. Okay. And I'm going to go to finally bring it up. Well, Wimbledon versus Bristol Rovers. I think Wimbledon are going to do this. I think it's going to be 2-0.
That's it.
There you go. It's 12:55. That was your warm-up. We got it all in, guys.
We
Even
did.
Back in Black towards the end.
Squeezed it in.
It was like March Madness. Oh, it's April. It's 12:55. Thank you very much to all the mothers who've lent people cars to drive the games. Mothers. Who've lent people cars to drive the games today.
Players.
Appreciate that. Thanks to Bella for the malted milk biscuits.
Thank you very much to Bella for great biscuits.
And the sports news.
Thank you very much to Gavin Woods just for being here and doing Back in the Black
Thank
and
you
being
very
patient,
much.
just being a legend. Thank you very much to Principal James Brown. Absolutely superb, James, today. Thank you very much to your son who came in there today to sort of enlighten us a little bit. I appreciate that. I've been Johnny Vaughan. Thank you very much to everyone for listening. As I say, kick football out of football. Never let football spoil a good day out at the football. Just don't do it. Do you know why? Because it's later than you think. 12:56. That was the warm-up on TalkSport. Great show today.
Good call from Ian Benjamin.
Very good call from Ian Benjamin, who's got... well, he likes to break it up at the Wayfarer in Kettering. On Friday nights...
It's
he has
Motown,
He has a Motown night. But Saturday night, they change it up completely. They throw the rulebook out and they have a soul night. I think that's... The variety there.
But it might be sort of Alexander O'Neill 80s soul or...
The night moves in.
Maybe some soft... What do you call it? Soft jazz?
Smooth jazz.
Smooth jazz.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba, love is an
Kenny G,
aeroplane.
is that Kenny G?
No, it's ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba, love is an aeroplane. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Smooth jazz.
Smooth jazz. But if you listen to it and you think to yourself, who listens to this?
Mickey Gin.
That's smooth jazz.
Yeah.
Mickey Gin, Dave Bennett, Gary Bennett.
Well, Mickey Gin's got a collection.
You know
very
those,
expensive
you
one.
know those really, really sort of soft, weird 70s erotic films you get? Smooth jazz is what you hear, and they have that ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da.
With an alto sax.
With an alto sax. That's the Kenny G sound.
One of the most annoying sounds
That's
ever is an
awful.
alto sax.
I can't stop.
It sounds like a wasp in your ear, doesn't it?
It's one up from a recorder.
Yeah.
I think it's one down from a recorder.
It is.
I hate
I'd
the
rather
sound.
hear bagpipes through a 50k rig.
No. Bagpipes for one thing only. War.
Yeah.
That's it.
Marching drums
That's
and
it,
bagpipes.
That's it. And funerals.
To think again.
Yeah. Living next door to you, what would you rather have, bagpiper or crackpiper?
I tell you what, my mate used to live next door, an opera singer. I was around his house once, and the opera singer's practicing.
I had one of them.
You're
next
trying
door
to
me.
watch football,
and you're hearing
the opera singer's
la, la, la,
with
la,
the windows
la, la,
open.
la.
With the windows open.
Well, my uncle's an opera singer, and my aunt is, and so I've grown up with that. I'm kind of used to it.
You've grown up with uncle and auntie opera singer.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Are they English opera
Yes,
singers?
yes. Well, my uncle actually got the Richard Tauber Award, which is the highest accolade a baritone can have.
What's it?
Right, no, stop it!
What are they in?
Just shut up!
What are they in at the moment?
It was a giant
James,
marrow growing
It
competition.
doesn't matter now, all right? I've come from a really highbrow family. As a child, we used to regularly have like Noel Coward around the house with Trevor Howard. Okay, listen.
Did you think about going into the opera game?
No, I can sing quite. I'm not bad at opera. I'm quite pretty good.
Did their kids go into the opera game? Your cousins?
No, they didn't. My cousin is one of them is a jazz musician. The other is a jazz pianist.
They used to row in singing.
No, but we used to have we used to have a family quartet.
That's not true.
Yeah, because we all play violins. Apart from my
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah, we did. We used to call ourselves the Vaughan Crap family, and we did. It was the Vaughan Crap family, except they were very good. They all had like music scholarships. I was poor. I struggled. I was a better singer than
I read online recently you were involved in debating at the school you were at.
I was a school debating champion.
You got debating.
Yeah, I did. But
did the other bloke just not get to say anything?
Yeah, you do it.
No chance.
Oh, Vaughan, storm that! The other bloke hasn't got a word in.
Do you know what though? I've always been slightly annoyed about this because I wasn't allowed traditionally the school debating champions were then allowed to go and compete in the Observer Mace debating challenge, which is not the mace that you spray. It was called the Observer Mace. I don't know why it was called that. It wasn't like
they didn't put you into Europe.
Get back! No, they didn't put us into Europe because of my hair. It was considered for public schools. It was considered too radical. And there's a photo you can see online of that radical hair.
Was it too big?
Well, it's just too long.
It was too flat. It's too flat. They said.
That's not true.
It is. They said I look like I quote my house.
It needed to be more
He said I
sharp.
look like a helicopter landing pad.
They didn't put you in a national debating contest because you had flat hair.
But do you know something? They picked a kid whose dad was a Chancellor of Cambridge University.
They put someone
and
else
that's
in.
Why, that's why they did
Hold on.
Sneaky.
They put someone else in instead of you.
Yes.
Where did he come in the competition?
Well, he not bad. He was a good debater. He's one of the best barristers in the world now.
What did you debate? What was your
topic?
The one we clinched it for was this House believes those who can do, those who can't teach. With the Bernard Shaw quote.
Were you proposing? Or?
No, I switched it round. You see, I knew they'd say that it was going to be about achievement or non-achievement, but I said no. We changed it, so I said no. What we should make it is those who can do, those who can't teach. To say that actually, if you know a bad teacher, do them.
Just do him.
Because they are horrid con men taking money for ruining people's interest in things, and it's the biggest crime of anything to appear like a teacher and not teach. Is the cruelest con, because you'll shut down children's minds.
Sucking the interest out of children.
And you should do them. And so we knew they'd have no answer for that.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been prepared
so
for that.
The very fact that we were proposing the motion meant they couldn't
answer.
They couldn't turn around and go, no, that's what we're proposing.
You took
the motion.
You took the comma out.
Yes.
Yeah.
To be fair, they didn't put the comma in. Okay, that's your warm-up. Hope you enjoyed that this week. The end bit wasn't quite so funny because we got a bit involved there with things in my life which aren't amusing. They're just part of the human stain that has been my past life. Like the trail of a slug. Right, that's it. We'll speak to you next week. Welcome to the Warm-Up Podcast. I'm Johnny Vaughan.
I'm Gavin Woods.
I'm James Brown.
Who has not got a phone in his hand.
No, not this time.
That's fantastic, James. Instead, he's decided to focus on the QPR Forest game.
Indeed.
Do you just not like looking at me and Gav?
No, he likes looking at Harry Redknapp. That's what
Joe
it is.
Jordan.
He loves Harry.
It's Joe Jordan there.
Is that Joe Jordan?
Yeah.
He looks a lot like Harry Redknapp.
Did Joe Jordan used to take his teeth out before games?
Probably.
Do you remember you said that massive gap
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
didn't it?
Heineken had.
I'm sure he used to take them out.
Heineken reaches the parts of a beers can't reach.
I've just been confirmed by. Do you know what I just got in my ear?
Yeah.
Jambo going, he did take his teeth out, that's correct.
It was corroborated.
There'll be no corroboration here. No,
He's an expert in every aspect of football, even dentistry.
Indeed.
I can confirm he used to take his teeth out, John. That's correct. Carry on, just crack on.
That was in 1980.
Good show today.
Cracking show.
We had three lovely texts. One, which is important for you to get involved in all the time. We're building up our spicy warm-up map of the UK. This is TalkSport's comprehensive guide to places you go to, curry houses, after away games.
We can stretch it to kebab shops, anywhere where you get fed to or from an away game.
That's good to go to.
But mainly curry houses.
But we're leading with curry houses.
Yes.
There will be other sections. That's bound to happen.
You can send them in all week on TS warm-up.
Why Tony Incenzo, who's at QPR Forest,
Who he supports,
he did a great thing today. We asked him for his favourite curry house. What did he recommend?
Italian restaurant.
In?
Where was it?
In Finchley.
Called Il Funghetto,
And what happens at Il Funghetto?
We've got a diva cover version.
We've got a Diana Ross tribute act. I'd say that is absolutely diametrically opposed to being a curry house.
It is.
Thank you, Tony. Say hello to the bad guy. What else did we ask for? We asked for your hybrid shops, which was brilliant. This is after I was driving along in Essex.
We'll keep going with this.
We definitely will. I was driving along in Essex and I saw a farm shop where they also said drum and guitar lessons, which I thought was brilliant.
That is
brilliant.
brilliant.
A dozen eggs, please, and drum lesson, which was nice. We had some great hybrid shops in today.
Brilliant ones.
We have sewing machines and telescopes.
A garage
was the jackpot.
that doubled as an Undertaker's.
A barber's and a TV shop.
And there was also a newsagent tobacconist that was called Alice's Dancewear.
They hadn't changed the
reptile,
in Liverpool.
A reptile shop that sells beauty products.
Which was fantastic. Anyway, keep these. So the hybrids are very good, but mostly because there was Spygate scandal.
Yes.
We did a lot of really good footballer spy film hybrid puns, which was very good as well. Anyway, enjoy the podcast. Here it is.
The result is all wrong. Manchester United were absolutely knackered.
Good morning, welcome to the warm-up on TalkSport. I'm Johnny Vaughan, the biggest name in British broadcasting, the brightest voice on TalkSport. On the day when Arsenal...
Tweets again.
Yeah, I've been reading some negative tweets.
Did you notice no one...
No. You don't exist yet. I haven't introduced you. Back off, James. On the day when Arsenal...
No one blinked when you said that.
Arsenal could salvage... I'll tell you what it says here. On the day when Arsenal could salvaged if they beat Wigan in the FA Cup semi-final. That game's live on TalkSport.
They could savage their season.
No, that game could salvaged. That's what Steve's written. He insisted I stick to this as well this week, so I'm going to. Anyway, Arsenal could salvaged. And Norwich face a real six-pointed away at Fulham this afternoon as both teams battle for Premier League survival. Warming up alongside me, the whistleblower and Mistro, the woodman, Gavin Woods.
Morning, Johnny. Morning, James.
And ladies and gentlemen, the principal, James Brown. Eva's lad.
Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen, mein Herr.
It's just Morgan, we say in Germany. Morgan.
Wie geht's, meine Freund?
Morgan. Can I start off with something non-sporting?
Yes.
And continue that theme throughout the 2 hours?
Yes.
Okay, no. Okay, we go. Note to Greggs. I'm a big fan of yours, yeah, at Greggs.
I like Greggs.
I do. But look, why are you closed on Saturdays? You can't be that blue.
They're not closed on Saturdays.
This one is. I tried to pop in for a sausage roll and some donuts this morning.
Normally, what I like about them is they open really early.
Well, they're not. And I'm saying, at the moment, Greggs, I know, admittedly, they are the Wicks of food, right? Greggs, it's got a name on it. Now, they are the sort of Wicks of food, aren't they? You should be able to go in there and go, 4 donuts, please, with some John Matt White and some planks. If you buy 4 planks, you get a Ribena. Okay, thank you very much. If you buy some...
and you buy 100 grit wet and dry.
So what you're saying is the Greggs at Waterloo is shut?
It's shut, yeah. But, it's not...
What time do you go past?
People need donuts and sausages when they're not... sausage rolls when they're not working.
Johnny, what time did you go past? About 10:30?
Yeah.
I went past about 10:15, wide open.
I wasn't blue collar enough. You're absolutely right. I should have gone in. You go in at 5,
yeah,
wide open.
7 o'clock sharp.
You go in there at 4:30, mate, when they open.
Clocked off by 10.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's when the sausage roll connoisseurs go in, about 6.
I love that. I just
before the antiques, the market.
Yeah.
The dealers go in early. The sausage roll dealers go in just at the crack of dawn at Greggs.
Do they?
They're all talking about the quality.
The traders, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyway, I'm just a bit cross with Greggs there because I really was, I was really focused on those donuts and sausage rolls. So
Once
focused
you get
up.
them in your mind, yeah, you can't.
Oh man, I'd even bought the Rennie for after.
For dessert.
They are. That's what you have for dessert when I go to Greggs. I didn't any all. Yeah, I just wash it all down with Gaviscon. Anyway. Buy 2 donuts, get another 2 free with the sausage roll, you get a Ribena. Buy the Ribena with the 4 sausage roll, you get a fridge. You can take the whole soup keg out with you.
And you get a mitre saw.
How are you this morning, lads? You all right?
Yeah, very good.
I've been doing Talk Sport this week, so I've been doing 2 days. So I've really boned up on stats. I'm all right today.
Right,
I sort of know my football.
You know your marathon.
What do you talk about in the week when it's a little bit more serious? Do you actually talk football?
I'm not going to recap, James.
Well, you haven't got a tape of what you said earlier.
I thought we actually John had yesterday really exciting live football sort of event. Awesome night.
Were you at the game?
Yeah, awesome. Absolutely awesome.
So you must have seen, I know where your seats are, you must have seen Jose running down the touchline in his tracksuit.
Yeah, I have to say it was one of those big 5 nights at the Bridge. It really was one of the big... That Liverpool 4 tour, there's Barcelona, there's a few games that stick out when you've had those big nights.
Do you think Jose had the tracksuit on to sort of be part of the team because they were against it from the first result? And
I don't know, but I tell you...
managers wear the
that was quite weird.
Instead of the suit.
What was quite weird is a friend of mine had one of those rare moments of vision, and I don't know if it's a different crowd. I mean, it is certainly at Greggs on a Saturday, so we have to presume it's a different crowd here. But a friend of mine... who's quite wild. He's one of my wilder friends, which is saying something. And he said, no, I'm not trying to say, hey, all my friends are wild men. They're not, particularly. They're quite a mild-mannered bunch, mainly librarians, people who work at, universities and things. But he said, I've had a vision, Vaughan. We're going to win 2-0 and he's going to play 3 strikers. He was right. I mean, how good is that?
I must admit,
who could have seen that coming?
When it was the last 20 minutes, I did think, they only need 1 goal. I bet you they get the goal. Not because I thought that Paris thought they had it won. And when a team thinks they've got it won, that's when they usually they concede a goal and it all goes wrong, doesn't it?
And it was saved by Demba Ba.
Demba Ba! Demba Ba.
I saw a comment on
What are you
Twitter.
warming up for? What are you warming up for today, James?
Today on the Twitter, because of the spying allegations at Leeds United and at Cardiff City this week. There are
Vincent Tan. There's been some spying. The Tan with the golden gun.
And Massimo Cellino, straight out of Scarface.
Exactly, it is, isn't it?
Go, come on, do it.
I like you, Montana.
Go on.
I like you, Tony. There's no lying in you. He does sound a bit like that.
He does.
What did you want to say?
But anyway,
That's not that one. They got satellites tracking you.
Forget about 13-5.
Forget about 13-5.
So because of the spying allegations, which we'll talk about later, we want you to send us your football spy crossover tweets.
Okay, football and spy. So the Tan with the golden gun would be
Tan with the golden gun.
Tandable.
Tinker Graham.
We've already got loads that have been coming in the last half hour.
Tan finger.
The wrong writer started it with the Ipcress foul.
Nice. That's very good.
So that's Michael Holden, who's a Southampton fan. He started us off with that.
Kevin, I have to ask you today, what's your vibe today, Gav? What's your vibe now?
Oh, I'm just a little scared, Johnny.
What are you scared of now?
Scared of losing to Wigan.
Scared just now or no?
No, and just
You're
now.
scared just now?
I am.
I think you're going to do that, mate. They can't do it 2 years on the trot. They can't.
Oh, I know, but we're still missing loads of players. And
oh, come on, it's Wigan! It's Wigan, you're Arsenal.
I think Wigan will win. I think Wigan...
Do you ever think your attitude...
Did you see Wigan playing against Man City?
Okay.
They were so good.
Okay. But Gav, do you ever think it's that attitude that makes you the problem?
No, listen, I'm still positive.
That's
I'm
bleeding
still
through to the players.
No, because I'm not at
Do
the
you
ground.
think you're going to win today, Gavin?
Arsenal.
Arsenal v Wigan.
Gav, it's about the vibe. It's not. You're not at the ground.
Yes, I do. But
I don't.
I fear that we won't. That's normal, isn't it?
I don't think Arsene
That's
Wenger
what I
has
mean. That's the Arsenal fans' default emotion.
No, it's not. It's the manager. I don't think he has the hunger for success. I think he's like a gardener. He wants his garden to be all nice and the players to come through and everything. I don't think he really wants to win tournaments.
But Kev, I've asked you once, and I will ask you now. Yeah. What's your vibe?
Sheer terror and some hope.
Sheer terror and some hope now?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. One very quick letter for Dear Deirdre, just before we take a break. It's so fast, this one. Dear Deirdre, my boyfriend says our relationship is over unless I convert from Islam to Christianity. Not that old line. 11:13. We're back in a couple of seconds.
Don't be shy. Join the proceedings by calling the show on 08717 223344. Email us via talksport.com, or you can tweet us at DSWarmup or text us at 81089. 50p plus normal sending charges apply.
Still no donuts or sausage rolls from our friends at Greg's. I just don't know why they shut the Waterloo branch down there. It's really annoyed me.
Very odd.
Do you know, yesterday I set taste buds for curry mid-afternoon. The hours I spent trogging around the West End looking for a curry house open at 3:30.
Yeah.
You know, I was getting the real no.
Lunch and, yeah.
It's really annoying when you go past one and there's people eating in there and they go and they tell you the
yeah.
kitchen closed. I'm thinking, no.
Good God, no.
You must have something on the pot. Come on. But they wouldn't. Anyway, I got one in the end. So that one ends happily.
Do you remember there was going to be a service station that was going to just be curries? Do you remember that story?
You're making
No. This was in the Midlands. This was a true story. I heard the bloke interviewed on the radio, and maybe it's there. Maybe if you're driving to a match around the Midlands, you could tell us if there was a service station that just became curry only.
Do you have your favourite away game curry house on different routes when you come back, when you're with mates?
No.
When I used to go
mainly motorways when I'm coming back.
But you get off the motorway, like when you go to what I call those panic stations. You know, those petrol stations that are just there for people who panic. We're running out. There's no services here. We'll just turn off here.
Just get in here.
Left or right? Which way are we going to go? We'll just go left. Just go left.
Places make a fortune.
When you go inside, they're like Russian supermarkets in the bad old days. They've just got everything. They haven't got any bread because there's no one that regular. They just get everything so you can see it. You go around the back and there's just empty shelves and a lonely fan belt.
Did you go to Russia before it changed?
No, yeah, I did, yeah.
I went in 1988. God, it was weird.
It was great, wasn't it? I went in 88.
You're exactly right. You'd have tractor parts next to really frozen chicken wings.
Yeah.
Just one chicken wing. And then some lime green looking drink. That was the calves.
Have we covered on the show people who are diversifying in their roadside roadside shops?
What, with different products?
Yeah, different products.
We should do that next week.
Tell us. Do you know what I saw the other day?
What?
I went past a garden centre in Essex. Yeah, it was a garden centre and farm shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you know what it said? drum and guitar lessons.
No.
I was thinking, wow, man, that's diversity.
Accordion school.
I was thinking, that's extraordinary. Yeah,
little
could I have
sideline.
There's a load of these.
hanging baskets, please, and a drum lesson?
I did some work for this for summer last year, and it's shops that do two things.
Yeah.
So in Derby, there was in one street there was a hairdresser's that also doubled as a railway bookshop.
What?
That was what it was.
That's brilliant.
There was another shop in the same street in Derby that did handbags for women and sports trophies.
That's fantastic. That's awesome.
There's shop crossovers.
Okay, any shop crossovers, you can tweet those in. But I tell you especially, like, if you have got preferred curry houses you have on the way back from away games, we might even do the TalkSport curry guide. We might even do that.
That'd be good.
Stopovers,
Or the kebab shops. You are right. For me, up on Beeston Hill, after the Leeds night match, there is a particular kebab shop that's good to start the journey
Well,
back in.
there's a couple of really good ones in rugby you can go to.
Right.
A couple of really good ones. One was called. What was it?
In rugby?
In rugby, yeah, because it's quite motorways, isn't it? You go past all those amazing aerials, and you think, wow, what happens here? And that puts me in the mood for curry. Every time.
We've got some Spy crossover films.
Great.
Go on.
The Wolves is not enough. This is from Spike in Leeds and Quantum of Palace.
Oh,
Who's that? Who's that
Quantum
from?
of Palace is excellent.
Spike in Leeds and Charlie Booth sent us The Vaughan Supremacy.
Nice.
I've got.
That's very good. We could have all the Vaughan films, couldn't we?
Yeah.
We could have keep the Vaughan
Michelle
ones.
Vaughan, the keeper.
At Two Dogs has sent in Rushton and Diamonds Are Forever.
That's
That's very
And
good.
at Ben Matchell says The Ipswich File.
That's very good.
And at Cherry Joe Zombie says Joe Casino Royal.
That's good.
Oh, that's brilliant.
We've got loads of these.
I've got a brilliant story.
That was a really good idea of yours, this.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Okay, so we'll run two today. We'll run that and
just
curry house
and
curry house name checks,
I've got
please.
a great one from last week. Dan Kirby sent us. He's on his way to the semi-final of the Wigan Arsenal game today.
Yeah.
Being a football man, a player in his team once had no pants on and had to wear the manager's Y-fronts, changing into them in his old Rover, right? And the same guy who he describes looked like Gaza with a big nose, said that he once had to wear his sister's hockey boots in a game because his dog had an accident in his football boots.
Wasn't the same guy, though?
The same guy, and he also
the same guy's wearing his sister's hockey boots, changing into his manager's Y-fronts in a Rover.
And the same guy.
There's got to be a law against
the
that.
Same
somewhere.
guy.
He just played in his manager's Y-fronts, no shorts.
I don't know, but
that's awesome.
The best one. He also turned down the chance to play for Scotland under-16s because he had to go shopping with his mum.
Probably to buy some clothes by the sound of it.
How good is that?
This guy just keeps giving. That's three incredible
This is all
facts.
from Dan Kirby. Good luck at the game today, Dan. Enjoy it.
That shows you how bad it's got to be in Scotland under 16 level football, where the blokes they're looking to choose are playing in women's hockey boots and old blokes' underpants.
Okay, can I say, James, who can know how a man feels as he gets into an old Rover
and changes into his manager's
gets naked
Y-fronts
and slips into his manager's Y-fronts?
The best
who can know how a man feels? Because you're really shuffling around there. And it's hard to
There's
get
not
changed
much
in
room,
clothes. There's
yeah,
not
yeah.
much room in
In
a
an
Rover.
old Rover,
In an
yeah.
old Rover.
I wish he
He's
was-
cramped in there. He's got the Y-fronts. He must have had to check them as well, just to see what kind of condition they're in. And it must have just been, oh man!
The best kit I saw when I was playing football at school was a guy called Scampy. He was a rugby player. He joined the football team.
He's called Scampy.
He was a mod. He was a 6-foot mod. I think his name was Reed. Ian Reed, I think his name was. And he came and played a match to train in pumps, like old black pumps, but with plastic bags on them. like when they go looking for food in Withnail.
Slipping all over the place.
He was slipping and coming up to get to a football pitch. You had to get across the rugby pitch.
That's
so you got
brilliant.
6 foot plus skinny mod.
Fantastic.
In plastic bags.
I'm afraid, James.
He's probably not still called Scampy.
He's
But
probably not called Scampy, but I tell you what. Who can know how a man feels as he slips his manager's Y-fronts on in an old Rover,
Or puts his sister's hockey boots on.
Being careful not to get the mud on them from his sister's hockey boots.
Luke Gordon says Steve Morrow never dies.
Oh, that's really good.
That's great. There's loads of these, aren't there? These are really going.
This is James. It was a very good idea.
Luke Gordon again. Live and Ketspire. Luke Gordon, 85. He's storming it.
He really is storming it. He's fantastic. Okay, listen, we're going to take a break in a second. Please, more of your spy-related puns and what.
And we've got a good curry recommendation.
Have we got?
We'll have that after.
We'll have that after break. But also, we will be building our comprehensive guide to the away game curry houses of Britain. Those little places you know. You just used to think, no, we've got a lovely little curry house.
Looking forward to that game because we can go to that place.
Yes, yeah. Okay, we've got Back in Black next.
Talk Sport. On air, online and on TV at Virgin Media Channel 927.
11:48, right here on Talk Sport. Where is Mad Bad Jimmy Brown?
He's gone to visit the gentleman's room.
Oh, I could not hold on any longer. I've got to go, John. My back teeth are floating.
Was that the phrase you used?
I think so, yeah.
No, I've got to go. My back teeth are floating.
I'm touching cloth.
Seriously.
Keep it clean. While he's away, I can just regale, because I know it's a time when you're in car, a lot of you are in cars, travelling to away games, and it's a time that many men discuss their relationship problems. Well, here's a good way out of one. This is Dear Deirdre again.
Very funny.
They're very funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I am back from toilet.
Do you know what I like about that as well? He came in, he was shaking one trouser leg, but do you know what I like about that?
Do you know what they've got
Wait a second,
to
James.
freshen the air in there?
What?
They've got a can of hairspray.
Very feminine for TalkSport.
Yeah.
James came in, but he not only did the thing where he shakes one trouser leg, which I find funny when people come back from the car seat. Do you know what he did next? Polished his shoe on the back of his trouser.
Nice.
Lovely touch.
Nice.
You're so suave.
And his hair looks good.
Dear Deirdre. It does look great, doesn't it? Dear Deirdre, I found a video of my husband, a sexy video of my husband, in bed with a naked woman. Then I found a supply of Viagra and condoms in the travel case he takes with him every time he goes abroad on business.
Right.
I started secretly checking this business bag, and that's how I found the Viagra and condoms, which he clearly uses every time he goes away. I told him we were finished, and he begged me not to end our marriage because of, quote, a bit of fantasy and intrigue. Come on, love. It's only a bit of fantasy and intrigue. Yeah, I'm going away, love. No, I didn't. It was just a bit of fantasy.
Just a bit of intrigue.
Yeah, no, I got down to some intriguing behaviour. Okay, Back in Black.
Back in Black.
Come on, love. It's just a bit of fantasy and intrigue. Well, speaking of fantasy and intrigue, well, Gavin Woods brings us that every week, and he doesn't need Viagra or a condom.
No.
He just needs referees.
I just need Sam Allardyce from
right, go on.
last Sunday's
I
game.
just need Sam
Yeah,
Allardyce.
that's right.
Is it answer A, Viagra, B, condoms, C,
Big
Sam Allardyce?
Yeah, last weekend's game between West Ham and Liverpool, two controversial decisions. One where Andy Carroll impeded the keeper with his arm and knocked the ball down, and then they scored from, which they allowed, which they shouldn't have allowed. Carroll said it evens itself out because I shouldn't have been sent off for that arm against
I hate that evens itself out thing.
It doesn't even itself out, and also you're wrong from the first decision because it should have been a red card. But Sam makes a point. We're talking about refs every weekend. We clearly don't have enough refs. There's only 18 refs in the select group. There's 10 games a week in the Premier League. So to have it even out, if anyone's having a bad week or whatever, there should be at least 25 or 30, and I think he's right.
Did you see how keen the 5 of them were for the European games? You know, the goal line guy. He really crouches. He really crouches there, in like that sort of that Wimbledon life. He was always like Johnny Wilkinson about to take a kick.
About to spring.
The action crouch.
They always look like they don't do anything, the goal line guys, but they're not allowed to say anything or signal anything. They've got radio transmitters in their flags. That's all they can do.
Yeah.
The second item. Jose Mourinho has been fined $8,000 for coming out of his area against in that game against, was it Villa?
Yeah, when he was on the pitch.
Yeah, and the Chelsea fans have gone online.
That was a European game, wasn't it?
Yeah, no.
It was
he did do it in the European game. Nothing came of that, but he's been fined.
Why didn't anything come of that one?
Well, because it's only just happened. There might be something in it. I don't know. But the Chelsea fans have decided to make a collection to pay his fine.
A wealthy crowd.
Well, I think Chris Hoy should get the money because he got the abuse on Twitter. The cyclist.
Yeah,
but also,
not again.
Yeah, but
still. When is he going to leave?
You mentioned a few weeks ago that you'd love to see Roman Abramovich buy a round of drinks for Stamford Bridge.
For everyone at the bridge.
I worked out how much it would cost. It's $42,000 at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
For a pint each, it would come to about £160,000.
Okay.
Roman Abramovich makes £1.3 million a day.
Yeah.
And for an 8-hour shift of hard oligarching, that's $160,000 an hour. So for 1 hour's work, he could buy Stamford Bridge
Gavin,
a round of drinks.
Do you know what? And let's think about it. Minimum wage about a tenner. Drink with 3 mates, a tenner. No, it doesn't actually.
Cellino did this on Tuesday.
What did he do?
Cellino, the new Leeds
No, he
owner.
didn't. Wait a second,
No,
James.
no.
You just back off a second because
don't
we
tangentalise me.
No, I'm not going to, because you're the tangential giant.
Complex
Let
mind.
me just
You're a
come in on
tangential.
me.
No, you're a
This
tangential
is
giant because-
amazing.
Let's congratulate Gavin for that
Congratulations
bit,
on
that
those
bit of
facts.
number crunch, because you brushed over it. That was a lovely
did it,
bit of
yes.
number crunch.
It's one work of hour for Roman.
Listen, on Tuesday, Cellino arrived at Leeds for his first day at work.
Yeah.
He paid the Inland Revenue, which was outstanding £500,000.
They had a tax bill, did they?
Yeah. He paid the players outstanding wages.
Yes.
Then he just wrapped up and went to the pub at 2:00, and he was still out being photographed and tweeted at 11:00 on Tuesday night.
Good lad.
Just walking around town on his own.
Brilliant.
Getting drinks in for the fans.
There's a man who understands PR.
He's going to be a brilliant figurehead, but a frustrating owner, I think.
Do you think so?
People are going to love him, but be frustrated by
Because
him.
he's obviously going to try and make some money, isn't he? But do you feel he's going to help the club?
Oh, definitely. He's fantastic, but he's going to, he's going to sack people all the time. He's,
James.
Yes, sorry,
James.
Too much football.
I've got one.
Go on.
The Fry Who Love Me.
Nice.
Slivered out.
Very nice.
You know, earlier we had Peter Gleisure on, yeah?
Yeah.
And he was telling the stories. Do you know, he reminded me of a bit. A while ago, I saw this Chelsea fan in a Chelsea fan who's in a pub, and he obviously hadn't been to a game for a bit.
Yeah.
He came from Kent or somewhere.
Was it a mirror?
No. And it wasn't, no. And I wasn't talking to myself in the mirror, no. But anyway, it was the most brilliant conversation of sort of, not downers like that, but it wasn't what he expected. He goes, he's seeing this guy, he's going, Sniffs! That was his mate Ian, Sniffs.
Sniffs.
He's going, Ian! You're right, mate, how are you? Oh, you're right. And he's really all right like that. He goes, so what are you up to then, mate? Everything good? He goes, you still out about doing it? He goes, no, I settled down now. Just settled down. I got a wife and 2 kids. I'm back working as a glazier. He's gone, what about Carl? What's he doing? I bet he's still mad, isn't he? What's he up to? And he's just gone, no, he's settled down as well. He's just doing decking.
Yeah.
Very quiet.
Got a family.
Very quiet. He goes, what about Wayne Crazy Legs? Come on, he must be still cracking away. He's gone, no, lives in Devon. He's opened up a little souvenir shop.
The old gang has settled down.
He's gone very quiet. Then he says, what about bigger? Come on, what's he doing? He's going, no, he's a community support officer. He's very quiet. He works in North London, I think. And then he says, what about Crazy? He's gone, no, he's fine. He works a picture framer now. It's very quiet. He's settled down. His wife's got into his father-in-law's business.
Yeah.
So all very quiet. And they just all sat and he's going, right, okay.
And that was it.
They just sat there in this. He'd been through the whole firm,
And no one had any story.
No, very quiet.
Very
very quiet. No, he's had a sex change. He now works as a nurse.
He's a human cannonball now.
Yeah, no, he's very quiet. But it was every single one. I was thinking he can't keep this up. I swear it's about 7 names.
They're
even
all
though
settled.
Film these spy football crossovers. Nick Butler says, licensed Tim Krul.
Nice.
Oh, that's
Very
brilliant.
Byron Thomas, the man with the Oldham gun.
Oh, the Oldham gun. I've got one from Blue Ace. Diamonds are for Everton, up the toffees. And the Pellegrini brief. That's from Andy, the baggy.
Martin Pickup, Toon Raker.
Hey, guys!
Nice.
I know we're being a bit Danny Baker here,
Yeah.
Because only Danny is the master of what I call plate spinning text, when you
Yes.
keep the text going.
Yeah.
But we were talking about weird hybrid shops. Are you ready for this?
Yeah. Go on. Go
Are
on.
you ready? These are shops to diversify. The one to beat is my farm shop that also offers drum lessons.
Yes.
Which is out in Essex. But how about this? Husband and wife, they ran a shop selling only sewing machines and telescopes.
Who's that from?
It's from Sarah Cooking in St Albans. Thank you.
And it was
so
the
much.
husband who was into the sewing machines and the wife that was into the telescope.
Oh, Viduka a kill.
No.
Oh, come on, you latics, he says.
Scott in Romford says, the spy who love and crans me.
Nice.
Nice. I've got the Born Ultimatum.
Nice.
Matter,
And
yeah,
that's
one
from,
matter.
That's from Callum MacDonald, age 12. We've got
that's
youth.
good. Well
we're
done,
bringing a
Callum.
youth policy. We're bringing through youth.
Yeah.
That's okay. We can accept that. Thank you very
That's
much
the
indeed.
level.
Thank you very much for joining us. It's nice to know you were sort of lowering the age
Clayton
threshold.
in Worthing obviously listens to Talk Sport late at night. The Bobby Goldfinger.
Nice.
Bobby
Sydney, Jugdish, Mohammed and Clayton. Okay.
Animal House.
Animal House,
I
yeah.
love that film. I watched it last week again.
It's so good. Good, you'll have lots to talk about. There's Terry Arbuck, captain of the swim team. He's editor of the Daily Fibarian. Now, there are a lot of great guys here, so don't feel you have to meet everybody. Okay, it's 11:57, right here on TalkSport. Don't feel shy about helping yourself to Punch and Cookies.
Talk Sport. On air, online and on TV at Virgin Media Channel 927.
Good morning to you. I'm joined as ever by James Brown and Gavin Woods, whose vibe today is quite downbeat considering you're in the semi-final.
No, not downbeat. I'm really looking forward to it, but I am nervous because I know how hard Wigan try in these games.
Gavin, as a South African, I'm not going to mention the Pistorius thing, but as a South African, why did you pick Arsenal?
Because when we moved to England, we lived in Highbury.
OK, thank you very much. That's a really easy answer.
Yeah.
There's a Greg's up in Highbury. There is up in Highbury.
Wait a second. Are you getting texts from Greg's?
I'm getting the bread report.
If you just joined the show, I went past the Greg's just near Waterloo. It wasn't open this morning, which really cheesed me off because I was really psyched up for 2 donuts, 2 sausage rolls and a squeezy Ribena. And the worst thing was they've got these sliding doors. And I slid the doors and there was actually a gap. I could actually get my hands in the shop.
Tantalising gap.
Yes. I could grab a bread basket that was empty if I wanted one.
Chris Spence, he doesn't say where he is, he's at Spenner83, says, I'm sat outside Greg's eating a sausage butty with brown sauce and a Chelsea bun to finish. You know, if you are outside a bread shop, maybe an Ainsley's in Leeds or a Greg's, let us know.
Well, in Leeds they are called
Ainsley's.
Because in Leeds they don't call them Greg's. This would be alien to our culture.
Get a bacon batch and some minerals.
James!
Minerals is right.
James, pop down to Ainsley's, get us a currant bun and some minerals.
I got a good spy.
Isn't every shop in Leeds called Crichton's?
Well, the bacon sandwiches have just arrived.
That's a good bacon sandwich, that, isn't it? I'm going to wrap this half up pretty quickly so I can get to that at the 11:30 with the news. OK, here we go. You listen to the warm-up on TalkSport thanks to Capital One, the credit card that supports the supporters. If you do work at Greg's, do get in touch. If you can get some sausage rolls to us and some jam donuts, my taste buds are still set for those.
And if you are outside of Greg's or a bread shop, let us know where you are.
Yeah, if you're a baker, tell us what time you got up this morning and also why some bakers aren't open on a Saturday. What's that about?
Some butchers aren't open on a Wednesday. That's really odd.
Yeah, what is that?
It's really odd.
The day they kill all the animals.
It's there they kill all animals. They're all sitting back covered in blood drinking minerals.
OK, here we go. It's time, once again, to go down the River Nile. Now, last week's guest, Ian Benjamin, nominated former Millwall and Northampton keeper Peter Gleisure, who joins us now.
It's just gone noon, our fast monsoon on the banks of the River Nile. Here comes the boat, only half afloat. Husband grins a toothless smile. Only just one more to this desolate shore. Last boat along the River Nile.
Morning, Peter. How are you, matey?
I'm very well, Johnny. How are you?
Yeah, perky, actually. Very perky. A bit cheesed off about the whole Greg's sitch. But I'm going to get through it. But you're going to distract me from all that, from that misery, from my donutless hell.
OK, well, I'll try.
OK, Peter, are we interrupting your current day job? Because I know you're a driving instructor.
Yes, we're parked up. We're fine. We're on the side of the road, so we're OK. We're fine to talk.
Wait a second. You say we. You're in the middle of a lesson.
Yeah, I've got my pupil Niall here beside me.
Niall?
Does he know you used to be a professional footballer?
Yeah, Niall McCree, she does, yeah.
OK.
Nice.
And do you think... how does she feel, do you think? I mean, could we talk about how she feels being on national radio, on the biggest sports radio station?
Have a word with him, Johnny, now.
OK, let's go. Good morning.
Hello.
Hi there, I'm Johnny Vaughan. Welcome to TalkSport. You're live on air. What does it feel like to be being taught driving by a genuine football legend? Did you know that before?
Yeah, no, I knew before I had lessons with him. My dad told me he was a bit of a legend.
He's a bit of a legend. And what's he been like with you?
Sorry?
What's he like as a teacher?
I know he's really good. Yeah, I got my test on Monday.
Have you?
Oh,
yeah.
right, well, thanks for taking the time. Does he teach you in his driving gloves, or has he still got his goalkeeping gloves on?
No, same way.
Is he a safe pair of hands?
Yeah, has he got very safe hands?
What's his driving? What's it called?
What's his what?
What's his driving? What's it called?
The driving school.
Yeah, what's his driving school called? Is it football related?
No, I'm not sure. I think he was just independent.
But what's he got on top of the car? He must have something on top of the car.
Your licence is our goal.
Safe hands.
I don't know.
You're in safe hands.
Well, listen, what's your name again?
Niall.
OK, well, Niall, that's a coincidence.
Let's have the goalkeeper back.
OK, let's get the goalkeeper. But nice to talk to you, Niall. Thanks for that fascinating insight.
Yeah, and good luck with your test on Monday.
Best of luck with your test on Monday. That's from everyone here at TalkSport. It's from all the gang.
Hello.
Sorry about that, Ian. We're just checking your credentials there. What is your driving school called, Ian? Do you have a name?
Peter.
Yes.
Sorry, Peter.
It's called Wilston School of Motoring. Wilston.
Wilston School of Motoring.
Yeah.
Wilston. Did you deliberately not go down the goalkeeper-themed name?
Yes, I did. I just thought I'd stick to something independent, yeah.
Green shirt driving school. All right. Okay.
Number 1 in the area.
Excellent. Let's stop it, lads. We're in this. Yeah, okay. Right. How many driving lessons do you normally get through on a Saturday?
Well, it depends if Luton are at home or not.
Good answer.
And, we have to get Luton Town in, you know.
Okay.
Hopefully promotion today.
Okay. Now, tell me about when you were a professional footballer. How did you? We will be asking how you warm up for a day behind the wheel. But how did you warm up for a day between the uprights?
And especially under George Graham at Millwall.
Yeah.
What was that like?
George Graham was very tough. Yeah, that was very hard. Enjoyable, but I didn't really get on with George that well.
Didn't you?
Did anyone?
What would you say was your slackest period of warm up?
My slackest period.
Yeah.
When the game started, really.
Pardon?
When the game started, really.
When the game started, nice one. Yeah. But did you have a culture of drinking in the dressing rooms? Were you ever part of that sort of thing?
No, not really. No.
Weren't you?
On the way home, on the team coach, on the way home, we made a few beers. Yeah.
You had a few beers, but you were never one of the wild men in the team.
No, not particularly. We had a few, but I wasn't one of them.
Who was one of the wildest people you played with then? What sort of scenes have you observed over the years in what I call the old pro era?
Oh, we had quite a few. We had Big Sam Allardyce was with me at Millwall.
Was he? What was Big Sam like?
Big Sam was, he could be tough, yeah. He was...
Peter, what was Terry Hurlock like? Because he looked like a Stone Age man.
I never played with Terry, actually. I played against him, but I never played with him.
Well, you've never played with Terry. Did you ever see him? Did you ever see him warm up though?
No, I didn't. No.
Okay, what we're looking for here. Let me just bring you into the loop here, Peter. We're looking for scenes of depravity within a dressing room. We're looking for people who really, if you looked at them, you wouldn't even know they were going out there as professional athletes just minutes later. Who would you say during your career seemed to take it the least seriously in the pre-game? A cigarette, a Cavalier
whiskey.
Yeah, a Cavalier whiskey.
Well, I would say Barry Kitchener when I was at Millwall. Big Baz, he was a real character. You could never find him at half-time because he was always in the toilet having a fag.
in the toilet at half-time. Okay, now we're getting into the sort of territory we want. Tell us more about Big Baz. What was he like before the game? At half-time he's having a fag in the car. So what was he like before the game?
He was very dedicated, before the game, but he did like his cigarette, and we could never find him like that at half-time. But, yeah, he was very dedicated otherwise.
Okay. Any other people? I mean, did you ever witness scenes of drinking in the dressing rooms? I just want other era tales here, really. I think you're being a bit discreet, because I know it was crazy down there.
Well, it wasn't too bad. Never really sort of ventured into that sort of thing. The managers at the time wouldn't have that, I'm afraid.
Wouldn't they?
To carry on, no.
Okay. James, you
Can
got
I
a
ask you
question?
a question? Have you ever been asked to teach another footballer or former footballer to drive?
No, I haven't actually. No.
Okay, what would you say is the single greatest moment of your footballing career?
Oh, without doubt, winning the Division 4 Championship with Northampton Town.
Okay.
Fantastic achievement, yeah.
Okay, and how long did those celebrations go on for?
Well, with Graham Carr being the manager, then celebrations went on a long time.
Did they? How long? I think you're just being really...
Mickey Ginn had a 2-week celebration.
I mean, Mickey Ginn, for instance, had a 2-week celebration.
Well, we had a whole weekend. We went away, we come back from, I think, Shrewsbury. We ended up staying there for a night and coming back on the Monday. So we had a good 48 hours, yeah.
Okay, are goalkeepers, are there any goalkeepers who are particularly wild? I know goalkeepers, it's quite a gambling position, but...
Well, the wildest one I ever met was John Burridge.
Really?
Crystal Palace, yeah. John was spongy. He was really funny. He didn't need a drink to be. He was just mad.
Go on, tell us a bit about this. I like wild goalkeepers. Go on.
Well, we were coming back from a trip to we were pre-season tour to Denmark, and we come back in the airport, and Budgie was going up and nicking all the donuts and throwing them up in the air and catching them. He's just mad.
Catching them with his mouth?
With his mouth or with his hand?
He was trying. He did catch one in his mouth, actually.
Did he? Excellent. I wish I could do that this morning. If Greg's want to lob some up, I'll be doing that. Listen, Peter, who do you want to recommend for next week? Come
I'd
on,
like to recommend,
who's going to really
an
dish
ex-player
the...
I played with? Keith McPherson, who played with me at Northampton Town in the Championship winning team.
Okay, is he wild?
In his day, he was very wild.
Okay. If we failing him, any other people you've met? I mean, who would you say in your era was the loosest cannon you ever came across? I want soccer's loose cannons.
Oh God, now you've got to make me think.
No, come on.
One. There was quite a few. Loose cannon.
Can I ask you a
question?
question?
A real loose...
The one I would say was Big Sam Allardyce that time.
Well, Sam was a loose cannon.
Yeah, he was a bit loose in his day.
Oh, yeah, we're not going to be able to get him. What about Budgie?
Budgie, yes, you might get Budgie.
He would be good.
A man called Budgie.
He would be good.
Like that.
Would he?
He's a legend.
Do you know there was a Budgie once? They trained to say 1,714 words. It's a record in the Guinness Book of Records.
Wow, that's more than I know.
So it's my only budgie fact, apart from Jeff Capes. Listen, Peter, thank you very much for talking to us. We've got our guest for next week. We've just made another stop down the River Nile.
Fantastic.
We've met. He's in the middle of a driving lesson.
Are you going to charge Niall for this time, or are you going to give him a bit of extra?
He'll have a bit of extra.
Do I realise
Is
that?
he studying the highway code?
Well, he's got his test on Monday, so hopefully he'll crack it.
Do you know what? I was once talking to a friend of mine. This is a moment when when a mate of yours gives themselves away, and you sort of think, no, my life isn't like that. I was talking to a mate of mine, and he was in his early 30s. He still hadn't passed his driving test. And he said to me, I had a bit of an afternoon in the afternoon. He didn't have it. His missus used to work. He didn't work. And he was trying to pass his driving test. And he says to me, yeah, he looked at it like he had a few drinks. He goes, it is, Vaughany. When your missus is at work all day, she comes home and you've told her you'll be swatting up on the highway code all afternoon. She comes in, all you're trying to do is desperately hide the Frascati.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, we've all walked that road.
I don't know that one. Yeah.
We've all walked that road. That old was meant to be reading the highway code, did in fact drink a wine box. We've all had that one. Do you know what I suspect with Peter? He can't exactly, I was just thinking, he can't exactly sit there and go, and I was hammered out, mate, so I've got out. I've lamped this geezer. I've got out. By this time, there's 34 of us being sick by the side of the road with a bin bag full of empty teacher's bottles.
Fantastic.
He can only sit there with his car keys on a private test. Peter Gleasia, thank you very much indeed. We've met former Millwall Northampton goalkeeper Peter Gleasia. He's on the River Nile. And he's connected us with someone for next week who we will be getting in touch with. This Budgie sounds promising.
John Burridge is a legend.
John Burridge.
He's the oldest goalie ever to play professionally.
Is he?
Yeah.
Thank you all very much for that interesting supplemental fact there, James. That was very interesting.
Join Johnny Vaughan and support Leeds United.
No, leave it out. Don't do that.
Thanks, John.
That was brilliant. There was us really looking for wildness. We're going, but come on, in the dressing room, there must be a lot of brandy around.
No, it's very quiet. We just sat there and it's lovely.
The River Nile almost ran dry.
It almost did, didn't it? It almost did.
I'm not sure
But he can't be wild, can he?
I'm not sure talking to a driving instructor.
During a lesson. Yeah.
You see, with Mickey Ginn, when he was talking, the ex-Coventry player, he was on his post round.
Yeah.
He was just sitting on a hedge or something.
I know, but postmen are wild. You look at a lot of the people they send home early from England games from Europe for rioting. It's always posting, isn't it?
I reckon
It's always postal workers.
He was just sitting there on a fence thinking, this is going to lose me 10 minutes on the round, just throwing letters into a puddle.
Any job
I'm not delivering them. That one's got too long a drive.
Posty. What was the postman calling Viz?
He was just called Posty.
He was just called Posty, yeah.
High karate, Novocaine, judo party in the rain.
Welcome to the warm-up. Do come in. Sit down.
Oh, Ash.
Take a chair. We've been expecting you. You say you're in Berlin on business. Good morning, welcome to the warm-up in association with Capital One, the credit card that supports the supporters. I'm Johnny Vaughan, joined as ever by my stalwart co-presenters. What's your name? Sorry, Gavin Woods and James Brown, ladies and gentlemen. Good Lord, Jeff Stelling's wearing pink goalkeeping gloves on screen 4 down there. Okay, this morning we've got three bits of homework for you out there in Radioland. 3 things we want you to do. Firstly, we are building up the warm-up, spicy warm-up, where's a good spot for a spicy warm-up round Britain? Where do you stop for curries on the way back or to your ground or away games? Sometimes we used to cherish certain away games because we knew we'd like to get to go like something like the Bengal Garden in Oakham. Now, if you had Leicester away, you could just nip down the A47, go through and get cheap back onto the A1. You could do that really easily there, rather than go down the M1. And it took us past the Bengal Garden, a fantastic eatery, where a Wolves supporter had the same idea. An incredible thing was, this guy on another table with this Wolves supporter. It was ironic because this, in the backs of chairs there were love heart cushions, like in the wall, like love heart shaped headrests, and this Wolves supporter was annoyed at being looked at by a local, some farmer. So he decided to get up and administer a hard punch to the guy's head. But the guy running the curry house, he looked at me and went, "Hardest punch I've ever seen." And they looked at me and went, "Hoo, hoo, hoo." The funny thing is everyone carried on eating after that. Anyway, it was a great stop-off. Go on.
John Neve, on the same theme, says on Twitter, as a football man, the Vine near the Hawthorns is a pub that serves Indian food with an open tandoori at the rear. Best away pub. Thanks, John.
Okay, that's very good. I was coming back from Southampton once. We went through the New Forest, and there was a lone pub there. We were starving hungry, and we're thinking, well, you know, it's after 9:30. It's going to be a chef's tent fryers off situation. And, oh, God, when you go up north, you get that all the time, don't you? Sorry, love, chef's tent fryers off. And that's happened to me up north. I'll tell you about that in a second, because that's another really interesting story. Anyway, I stopped in the New Forest, and you know what? We lucked in on curry. They had a curry club at the pub.
So it was all there.
It was all there, and it was all ready, and it was also instant. They were just ladling it out. There's no waiting around for waiters, no fun. Just pint curry, bang, off we go. Go on,
Johnny. Marcus, who's at Krusty4567, he's an Arsenal fan. He says, "Great show again, guys. Here's where me and my mate stop for a kebab on away days. Come on, you Gunners." And he sent a picture of something called the Jason Donner van.
Oh, brilliant! I've seen the Jason Donner van.
That's brilliant.
Now, what I hate is sometimes when you're up north, right? And you get, and
are you talking about in the UK?
In the UK,
Scotland?
No, because to me that's north. You see,
well, what are you talking? Watford?
You see, to me Leeds isn't north. You see, that's to me north is Scotland. I want to be very particular.
Adam Brooks says diamonds are forever.
Oh, that's very good. Oh, that's brilliant.
Andy Dyson says the Mancunian candidate.
Okay, James. What we haven't done is we're on the curry house bit at the moment. Spicy warm-ups. We haven't got to spy names in honour of.
I'm just jumping in.
Yeah. In honour of Vincent Tan
and Cellino.
Yeah, and Cellino.
You've got to perfect.
Send out another spy.
The world. This is from Kevin Metherell.
Yeah.
The world is not Brian Clough.
That's good.
Oh, that's very good.
How about on Majewski Secret Service? From Louis the Liverpool Red.
It gets better.
It does. Moon Draper, as in Villa midfielder Mark Draper.
Nice, keep them coming, lads.
That's from Spider in Buckley. And The Lost Moys from Gav.
We were talking earlier. Gavin, you did some great number crunching earlier. Well done with Roman Abramovich buying
the It was amazing, that.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
Because I wanted to figure out how well he could afford a round of drinks. Obviously, we know he can afford it.
It was going to be 160 grand.
160 grand.
Which is probably 2 weeks'
wages.
wages.
It's about
£3.80, £4 for a pint. I figured 42,000 pints. That's for pints. Obviously, if you're ordering a cocktail.
But that's probably what Torres is on.
Probably.
A week.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, but this is an hour.
Boys, good show. But anyway, further to that, because it's funny you're taking interest now. You didn't ask him anything about it at the time. You're too busy looking at your phone.
No, because I was amazed that the new owner went on an 8-hour pub crawl in Leeds.
That's brilliant. You let us down a bit earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, boys, good show. JP McManus bought everybody a drink at Towster Racecourse when AP McCoy rode his 4,000th winner.
That's a good
What a gent. Bars were free for half an hour.
Half an hour?
Good man.
That's a lot of
drinking. I
drinking.
like the sound of him. The other thing we're looking at today, this is our third thing. Wait, James.
Crossovers.
Yes, crossovers. I've got one here.
One as well.
Okay, so 3 things on the agenda today. Curry houses, that's because we're building up a nationwide guide to good away game curry houses. So that's our first one. Second one is spy names in honour of Vincent Tan. Well, not particularly Vincent Tan, just there's a bit of a Spygate scandal going on. And the third thing is hybrid shops you might pass or know after I saw a farm shop in Essex that also offered drum lessons. Here's one for you. We've already had a shop that sells sewing machines and telescopes.
Go on.
There's a shop in Sheerness that sells fishing tackle, bait and satellite dishes. That's Chris in West Ham. Cheers, Chris. That's a beauty.
This one's from Owain Taylor Shaw. Hybrid shop, Glenn's Hairdressers and Gun Shop in Pwllheli.
That's brilliant.
You want the short back and sides? No. Click. Yes. You want the short back and sides?
Just like in Earl's Court, it was the most awful. This is the most awful hybrid. They had a Thai restaurant. But if you wandered through, it was a Thai barber's
as well.
Yeah, but
I'd like that.
No, you wouldn't, because in the summer you got a slight draft through there, and you just sort of look, and you sort of suddenly realise you've got sort of loads of hair on the plate. It's just a horrid combo. That combo of hair and food.
Byron Thomas says that there's a shop in Waltham Cross which sells fridges and flowers.
That's good.
That's a great hybrid.
I've got a good one. The Mancunian Candidate.
Oh, that's nice.
That's from Andy Dyson.
Okay, we're back to the spy agenda. In which case, I've got on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. I really. Hey, here's one for you. I can win you back with this.
Yeah.
A Pardue to a kill.
That's very good.
That's very strong,
yeah.
isn't it? If James wasn't on the phone, he'd laugh at that.
I'm looking at all of these.
Do you want to laugh for you?
Okay, I think we need to go to Antonio Incenso.
Okay. I've got to go. I love talking to you lot, James. You've missed your chance because you were so busy looking at your phone.
I was reading all the great ones, making sure I don't read out anything bad.
Yeah, but I got to go to Tony Incenso. Hey, Tony, how you doing? Hey, Tony, how you doing?
Benny, well, it's QPR versus Nottingham Forest this afternoon, both sides with a keen eye the 28th after a shoulder injury. As for Forest, 4 alterations: Fox, Halford, Cox and Wilson all start. Queen's Park Rangers versus Nottingham Forest at Loftus Road.
My name is Tony Incenso. I'm not what I could on the side, huh? All I have in this world is my word and my boss. And I don't break them for no one.
Tony, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
We are building up the spicy warm-up. Curry houses, places you stop. You travel the country, you watch loads of games. Have you got any favourite? You must have loads of favourite little curry houses and places you stop at.
The Italian side of me says Il Funghetto in North Finchley is a great place, and they do tribute acts. They're on every Friday night. There's a bit of music there, and I was there last night. It was fantastic.
Who was the tribute act last night, Tony?
It was a diva. It was a girl called Rachel Roberts doing a diva act, and she did all the Diana Ross and all sorts of songs from the 60s. It was really good.
What, Diana Ross, bit of Eartha Kitt? What sort of place are you in there? No, she's great. Just Diana Ross.
That's free garlic bread for Tony next Friday. Il Funghetto.
And also, I specifically asked for curry house. He goes, yeah. For Tony Incenso, it's a great Italian. Thank you very much, Tony. That was really in the spirit of it. Asked for curry houses throughout Great Britain. What did I get? An Italian in North London.
Il Funghetto.
But doing Diana Ross impressions.
The mushroom.
You couldn't have something that is more clearly not a curry house. Not a curry house. That's Tony, though. He's sexual. 12:15, right here on TalkSport. I'm Johnny Vaughan, in association with Capital One, the credit card that supports the supporters. We're looking for a spicy warm-up guide to Great Britain. That's the curry houses of Britain, the restaurants you stop at on the way home from away games. We're also looking for your spy names, owing to Spygate, a scandal which unfortunately has touched our friends at Cardiff
and Leeds.
I think Vincent's actually tampered with the machine just to give me that lag. I suspect he's hacked in. And we're also looking for hybrid shops. I think the best at the moment is still sewing machines and telescopes.
I like that one.
Who'd have seen that coming? Well, of course you would if you had a telescope. It's 12:15. We can take a break. Back in a second. Hello there. Welcome back to the warm-up on TalkSport. I'm Johnny Vaughan in association with, we're in association with Capital One, the credit card that supports the supporters. I'm joined as ever by mad, bad, sad Jimmy Brown, and of course, the Woodman himself.
Indeed.
Gavin Woods. And incidentally, if you read Power and Rivalry at the Ancient Olympics, you'll read there was an ancient woodman who was responsible for looking after all the olive groves that were sacred because they used to make the
wreaths,
the winners' wreaths around their heads. Yeah.
Wow.
And he was the woodman. And he was a holy man. He was the only person who was out to eat a certain part of the goat. I won't tell you what it was, but I hope you brush your teeth. Okay, it's 12:21. We've got the outsider. Who would have thought a show detailing football would have a man who knows nothing at all about football? Well, we've dared to do that. We've dared to go where no football show has gone before. That's except me, your host. Because there's only one man here who knows less about football than me, and he is the outsider. Morning, outsider.
Hello, how are you?
Not too bad. You're today's outsider. Now, let's just confirm your credentials here. You know nothing whatsoever about football and take no interest in it.
That's absolutely right. I'm proud to say that I don't know how many people there are on a team.
Fantastic.
Wow.
I think you're exaggerating there a little bit, but I love your flavour.
Well, it's confusing. I don't know how many because there's the number of people in reserve. I don't know, and then they say that it's like about half a dozen or something, and then you've got people with number 30 written on their shirt.
I can see why to an outsider.
I don't know what's happening.
No, to be fair,
point, yeah.
to an outsider, it would be confusing. How do you get on in everyday life then when people start talking about football? What do you do, outsider?
Well, I try and turn the conversation around something more interesting, like not football.
Yeah.
Or I do pay attention because people really like that stuff, you know.
Yeah, they do like that stuff.
That's
They like it so much.
ruling.
We've devoted a whole channel to it. Okay, here we go. We're gonna have the bongs. I want your 3 headlines you've taken in this week.
Yeah.
This is from an outsider. He knows nothing about football. He's taken in these little nuggets purely through osmosis. Here we go. He's plucked them out the ether. Okay, here we go. Bong. Here's the bongs. The headlines from the outsider.
The special one leaves the French fried.
Nice.
Scottish manager not as good as previous Scottish manager.
Very good.
Arsenal have got a semi, but will they go all the way?
Oh, it's good. It's slightly sexy and it's good. It's very good. I tell you what, will you come back another week to share your ignorance with us, outsider?
Yeah, no, I'd be very pleased to, because people do test me as to what I don't know what League and Premier is and stuff like that.
Fantastic. We'll not talk about that next week when we welcome you back. Ladies and gentlemen, he knows nothing about football. It's great to be able to say that on the show, because I normally get that flack myself. Ladies and gentlemen, the outsider!